Coach Dick O'Neill. I'm Brent Musburger. Folks, at least on paper, if you like defense, Dick, they've come to the right channel.
You bet. We have the number 1 and number 2 defense on the field at the same time today, and their numbers are glaring. Look at they're strong in every category, and strong defensive line, fine linebackers that can all cover.
Coach, let's introduce you to a couple of the stars. First, the Tar Heels. Kabiyasama Mays, a dandy middle linebacker.
Well, you can see at 6'4", 245, they play him more as a linebacker, and they can also play him as a stand-up defensive lineman. Tough to block.
Pass rushers, we've got that for you on the other side. How about Peter Boulware of the Seminoles?
The best we've seen in a long time, 4.5 speed.
Now, attacking these two fine defenses, the quarterbacks who are responsible. Good story here in Florida State. Folks, look at the starter on the left. He looks like a quarterback, doesn't he? Look at the backup on the right. Doesn't he look like a middle linebacker?
Or fullback, yeah.
That's the freshman, Danny Kernda. But what about Busby?
Well, Busby is more talented, maybe, than the other people they've had here in the past. They've had some good ones. He's very mobile. He's very mobile. He throws accurately, and they're just waiting for him to bloom.
And it could be a tough day in the office for the other team's starter. Here's a JC transfer, Chris Keldorf for the Tar Heels.
Yes, a JC transfer, but older, more mature, and they say one of his attributes, he can throw well off balance, as he does right here.
His coach, he was once a running back here in Tallahassee. When Mac Brown was playing for the Seminoles, that's what he looked like, folks. Today, a few more gray hairs as he tries to take on and beat his alma mater here in Tallahassee. And he's up against a coaching legend. There he is. Only one man active has more victories today. Joe Paterno at Penn State. And the Chief, Osceola, is ready. For the Tar Heels, they're trying to beat the Noles for the first time ever. Bring on Renegade. Storm cloud brewing up over Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. The third member of our crew, Jack Arute, is down below. Jack?
Well, Brent, you talked about that number 2 defense for the University of North Carolina. That's good news for the coaching staff. Bobby Bowden told us yesterday he really wants a top-flight team to see just how good his Florida State Seminoles are. Now, he also talked about Dan Kendra and Tad Busby. The coaches feel that Busby, as you said, is much better, but he's read a lot of the press about Kendra waiting in the wings. They say this game, Busby needs to break out and convince himself that he's the number 1 quarterback.
You get a chance. Here's Scott Bentley. He looks a bit like a linebacker these days, too. The senior from Aurora. Leon Johnson, the go-to man. He's the single return man. Mac Brown wants the ball in his hands often. Wow. And Bentley says nothing doing. Here comes the touchback out on the 20-yard line. And here comes, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Keldorf. Let's call him the Marco Polo of quarterbacks. That's how well-traveled this young man is. But remember that when Keldorf came to North Carolina for the first time as the quarterback, he came to attend Dean Smith's basketball camp. Remember that. Utah State, his first stop on the collegiate trail, broken hand, used him as a tight end. 2 junior colleges and a Steve Sarkisian later, and he's here at North Carolina. But he never forgot Dean Smith basketball camp. He always had a fondness for Chapel Hill. Now we'll take a look at him. Leon Johnson's behind him. Offset eye now. Chris Watson is your fullback for the Tar Heels. Johnson steps left. Hole into the middle. He hits the secondary out to the 30-yard line. Excellent first play of the game. Our Chili's backs and receivers, you've seen him now, Leon Johnson, and he has been stopped by the Noles for 3 years. Jeff Saturday is the veteran center. Now, Byron Thomas and Mike Baxter must hold down these two talented defensive ends. We told you about Boulware on the one side. Leonard Wilson, number 55. Remember those numbers, 58 and 55. They must be stopped, or the Tar Heels are in for a long afternoon. Watson tells Johnson what the checkoff is at the line of scrimmage. Second and short, the 9-yard run. For the first down, Johnson's got it. Now, in the linebacking crew, not as fast as they have been in the past in Tallahassee, but they can all tackle you. Darrell Bush, the middleman, and number 44, Crawford. Henry Crockett, 45, coming along. Sean Hamlet, injured a year ago. This is a talented and a deep, deep secondary here in Tallahassee. First and 10, but the front 4, the coaches here at Florida State believe could be their best in history. That's saying a lot. But North Carolina moves quickly to a first down now. And they'll use Watson. They keep moving the look around. They go back to Johnson, 3 in a row. No more than a half a yard, and Crockett, 45, is there defensively.
Well, Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina, going exactly what he told me in regard to game plan. He said, number one, we've got to control those big defensive ends with that speed. We're going to run right at them, then we're going to run the draws under them, look for some screen passes, drawing them upfield.
And there are your numbers. 88 yards for Johnson rushing against Florida State. Warwick Dunn, a big timer. So defensively, when the Tar Heels are on that side, they must stop number 28, Warwick Dunn. Change up by Keldorf at the line now. You've got a 2nd down and 10 after that half-yard gain. They're going to sweep Johnson. They're going to stick with the big man. They're going to keep pounding into the middle to the 35, and Crockett again.
You note they're keeping the ball inside those wide defensive ends. Those defensive ends are very fast, and they come upfield. If they can control the tackles inside, the defensive tackles, then they can run up in that crease.
Now, for Coach Mack Brown and his staff, Dick, you would think that they hope that Keldorf has relaxed. They come up here now, and they're in a passing situation. This is going to be a 3rd down and about 6 yards for Mack and his staff. And Keldorf, we'll see if the Butterflies have settled down. A very talented tight end, remember, for Carolina. They need to control the clock, keep the ball out of the Noles' hands for Rushmit. Keldorf fires open, got it, 1st down. Fullback slips out over to the 45-yard line. Good call.
This is a cluster formation using a fullback in motion. They use the motion and break it down here coming from the end zone. You'll take a look. You'll see the fullback moving across the screen there. He catches the ball out in the flat. They blew the coverage. They didn't get on him. Blew the man-to-man coverage.
Down on that far side and still shaken up. Watson is out right now. That could mean that Jonathan Linton, number 27, has stepped into that backfield if they follow the regular rotation. And they have done exactly that. So the young man, the junior from Pennsylvania, now steps in. But for Watson, big 21-yard gain. Watson with the 1st down into the Noles territory. This an impressive first drive now for the Heels. This a confidence builder. This will settle Keldorf down. He'll feel he can play with these fellows now. They move up the linebackers. They press 5 now against the offensive front. They run Johnson again. Again, it leaves them in 2nd and long, Dick.
And they want to stay out of that 2nd run long because Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator for Florida State, our number one deal is we're going to shut him down on 1st down and get him into obvious passing situations. They did not do that in the 1st series. They successful right here.
Henry Crockett is off huge for the Noles defense. He has made 3 big stops for him now on Johnson. So he is looking in on number 12. L.C. Stevens comes out to the left now. They'll slot a man in that direction. 2nd and long. Carolina short drop. Quick pop. High. Incomplete. Ball was thrown too high. They sent Johnson out as a receiver. He couldn't get the handle on Keldorf's throw.
Peter Boulware, the defensive end, got a little penetration, got up, and they had to throw the ball over the top of his head, and that forced the inaccurate throw. To the left-hand bottom corner of your screen, 58, Boulware comes up. He gets right there. Now, he's up there just deep enough. They have a little throwing lane inside. He should have been able to complete that pass.
A 4-pack, 4 wide receivers. Keldorf now will spot the defense. He's pointing out the defensive backs, and hold on, the officials are going to stop it. There was time left on the clock, but the linesman's coming over for a little discussion here with the referee. Courtney Mozzie is our referee, and a timeout has been called. The Noles were confused on their substitution pattern defensively. They had players running off at the side. Had Keldorf simply moved up behind center and taken a snap, he would have gotten a penalty on the Noles. Mack Brown will talk to him, and we'll be right back.
It's a big Big Ten battle when Penn State invades Ohio State, or other regional games featuring Nebraska, Virginia, and USC. Next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
Welcome back to our New York studios. Back to your game in just a moment. But first, an update from here. Texas A&M facing Colorado. Texas A&M fumbles the opening kickoff. It allows Colorado to set up and toss the ball to Ray Caruth, who takes it around the left side. 28 yards for the touchdown. Right now, the Buffs lead 7-0. Brent.
All right, John, and here we are. Scoreless. Dick, this is a huge 3rd and 9 now for Keldorf and the Heels.
Well, this defensive team, they have not allowed people to convert very successfully. They've only given 7 third-down conversions up so far this year. Tough to convert.
From the shotgun, he's accounted for the 11 defenders. Looks in the middle, steps out, almost throws an interception. Crockett dropped right back in the middle, and he had defended Nay Brown. Penalty flag comes flying on the play. This is going against the Noles.
Pass interference on the defense.
Automatic first down.
First down.
That's a big play. Don't convert, you stop him. Should have had an interception. It's pass interference. From the right side of your screen, you'll see the penalty happen over there to the right side. Crockett, 45, in the middle of your screen. He should have the interception. Defender comes in from the right side, knocks down the receiver prior to the ball getting there.
No question about it. Good call. No score now. First down for the Heels inside the 35-yard line. Power eye is the look. Johnson comes from behind. Bam block. And he gains no more than a yard. Dick, they've got him read pretty well on these first down runs.
They do so far. Other than that very first down play of the game when they ran up inside the end, their defense is really tough to run on. They're number one against the rush. Look at this pass defense. They get you in a long yard situation, and they only give you up 101 yards a game. Tough to do it. But I'll tell you right now, North Carolina is gaining a little confidence.
Inside the 35 with their first possession. Mack Brown's team also keeping the ball out of the Noles' hands right now. That's important. Keep the clock moving.
Doesn't like it. He called timeout.
Well, we've had two quick timeouts, one by the Noles defense and now one by the Tar Heels offense. Both teams realize the importance of this game, and down we go to our colleague, Jack Arue. Jack?
Well, Brent, you and Dick were talking about this team getting some confidence. Mack Brown has worked very hard to literally build the confidence in the entire program. Now, what he said he needed to improve upon the historic rankings of Carolina. You know, they've always been around the top 25. So this year he said, what we need to do is become a consistently ranked top 10 team. What that will do for our program is bring better athletes in. He said, that's what we're going to set out to do. He said, once we know that we're a top 10 team in the nation, we'll consistently go to a top 10 bowl. And that'll just cascade on down. Over and over, we'll get better athletes.
Well, this one would be a huge step in that direction. This is the ninth play of the drive coming up here.
And they're eating up clock time right now. Brent, you know, and the other approach that Coach Brown said he's taking, yes, he wants to get in the top 10 ranking. He told both you and I this, but he's done it by taking pressure off this football team, just adding consistent workout efforts in practice so they don't have to change when it comes to play the big game. He felt before they've made a mistake as a staff that all of a sudden they tried to change the tempo because we're playing a big one, then they didn't play well. So now he's kept the practice tempo at a higher level continually through training camp, and he hopes it'll pay off today.
ACC standings. Carolina, Virginia, and Florida State all at 2-0. Clemson wins to go to 500 today. And Chris Watson back in at fullback. So he is set in front of Johnson right now. And on the draw, here's Johnson. Sprint to the left. Closes through that Seminole speed. Nothing much doing there that time.
You know,
the hole is open, and then boom, it'll shut.
That's great comment, Brent, because up here it looked like that draw was going to really break. You'll see Boulware in the left-hand corner of your screen. He's a great outside pass rusher, and by game plan and design, they want to go up underneath him. It looks like there's a hole. Now the corner, Capers, number 20, comes up, and bam, he pops him like a linebacker. Nice job, Byron Capers.
Byron Thomas, you've got to run kinds of plays like that. You could see one-on-one. Boulware just lined up outside it and took him one-on-one. So 75 going to need some help over there on that left side of the Tar Heel offense. Now it's third down and 7. Watson moves over as a right wingback. Keldor, short drop, no time. Down he goes for a sack. Reinhard Wilson, and that should tie him for the school record if they give him a full sack. If a half, he's chasing Ron Simmons.
Well, he can come off the ball. Number 55, left-hand corner. See, he gets a good move, then he gets a good physical push back into the quarterback. Keldor is forced to hold the ball. Therefore, he gets to him. You've got to set firmer on him, Brent. You can't let him push you back. He's not that big. He shouldn't be able to knock you back, but he has very good explosive strength in those legs, and he proved it right there. That is to tie the record. He ties Ron Simmons' record with 25 sacks in his career.
Simmons was one of the original stars down here for Bobby Bowden when Bowden and the Seminoles had to be road warriors. No one had come down here to Tallahassee to play him. So Bowden would take the Noles on the road. They'd go to nice places like Lincoln, Nebraska, East Lansing. And there's the second time out. So the Heels on a punting situation here, calling a timeout. That could be very, very costly. Suddenly, North Carolina has only one timeout left in the first half, and we're scoreless. College College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline. And Chili's Grill and Bar, home of the Big Mouth Burgers. So the Tar Heels setting up for what appears to be a long field goal. That's the punter, DePriest. He would be the holder in this situation. And Josh McGee out of Pearl, Mississippi, number 37, is on now to attempt what would be a 53-yarder. Best special teams in the country are right here in Tallahassee. See if they can find an alley. Heels have got to hold it, man, and get it up. It's blocked. Rejected on the block. Just forget about it. When you line up to kick a punt against the Noles, they'll be all over you. Down on the 30-yard line, and here they come for their first set now. Thad Busby, the 6'3", 220-pound junior of Braymout.
It's a low kick, but great leaping ability up inside. Blocks it. And many young kickers, when they're going to kick a long field goal, really try to push hard, and they don't get the trajectory of the ball. And Shevin Smith, number 30, gets up high and bats that thing back.
So they come out with their first play. You know, this is the fast break attack. They can keep it reeling. They've got it sequenced now. Busby will open shotgun, take a look. Let's see if he moves up under center. He does. Warwick Dunn is the tailback. Will they call on him right away? They do. Let him go. He's had big days on the heels. Cutback, which he does so well, out to the 36-yard line. From Pace, Florida, Thad Busby, fine all-around athlete. 60% completions for 163 yards. Too many interceptions. Coaches aren't happy about that. Chili's, backs and receivers. You've seen Warwick Dunn, great numbers against the Tar Heels over the last 3 years. He passes up the NFL to come back for his senior season, and Warwick will tell you the NFL's not going anyplace. Yes, he'll be there. Second down and 4 now, and Busby will come up under center and line him back up in that power I again. That's the Pooh Bear in the fullback. Busby to throw. Has time. To the back, out of the backfield in the 35-yard. There's that Tar Heel speed defensively. Brian Simmons coming over to make the stop. Now the fast break attack. They're coming right up to the line. Chad Bates, one of the few returning members of the offensive line. This line needs experience. They have to work together. The front seven, outstanding. Everywhere you look, folks, is a big-time college football player on this front seven. We've already told you about Mays, number 53. Now Busby moves up. 3rd and 4. Will it be 3 and out against this defense? Not much time. 1-on-1. Cooper overthrew him. 3 and out. So the Heels do their job right away defensively, and that was Omar Brown, the free safety, chasing the young receiver from Jacksonville.
Carl Torbers, the defensive coordinator, playing it tough. Move Dre Bly right up, one-on-one coverage, tight man-to-man bump and run. We don't see a lot of that. He tried to throw it high and over the outside shoulder, but just a little bit strong here early in the first quarter.
Sean List did not punt well last Thursday, a week ago from Thursday night against North Carolina State. Didn't get the ball out in front of his foot enough. Didn't extend. Let's see what he does. That time he did get the leg out, but he won't be happy with it. Dre Bly's got it on the 22-yard line, and the young cornerback looking for an alley, but nothing doing as they close it down with that speed on the Noles special team. Vernon Crawford, the senior from Texas City, Texas, making the stop. And a reminder that on Monday night, we will have Dangerous Minds. That's a new show. That's premiering at 8 o'clock Eastern. That'll be your lead-in now. And it's a good one in the NFL. Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles. Must win for Deion Sanders and the Cowboys as they pull in the vet to take on the Eagles. Here we've got now second possession for the Tar Heels. Keldorf eyes the defense. 4 down linemen. Linebacker stay. Quick drop. And there's a completion to L.C. Stevens from Clinton, North Carolina. Let's check in with John Saunders. John?
Fred, Southern Miss facing Louisville this afternoon, and Carl Shannon is the man who gets in and comes up with a block. Chandler Smith picks it up and goes the 13 yards for the touchdown. Right now, this one a 10-0 lead. We'll keep you up to date. Southern Miss on top. Back to you, Brent.
You never know. Through the years, that Southern Miss team, they'll just shock you. Louisville coming off that win against Michigan State. Now it's 2nd down and 5. Johnson, nothing doing. And that was Wadsworth, number 85. We haven't talked too much about Mr. Wadsworth. But Andre Wadsworth from Miami at 6'4", 282 was a walk-on here at this school, and he'd just be maybe maturing into one of the finest defensive tackles you and I have watched this year, Dave.
Yes, he is. He's very physical to the point. He has good quickness. He's also an outstanding student, so he's come to do both. Get a good education and play defensive tackle the way it should be played.
And we've got an injured Tar Heel being tended to at the 32-yard line.
They're talking with the coaches last night. They said they can't afford to get an offensive lineman injured because they don't have a lot of depth. And an injury by an offensive lineman when you're playing against a defensive front as talented as FSU's, it could be a real problem.
Concern on the head coach, and a reminder that tomorrow's primetime lineup at ABC. Kind of interesting. America's Funniest Home Videos of Kick It Off. Then an all-new episode of Lois and Clark, and then our Sunday night movie is A Loss of Innocence. Jenny Garth will be in that movie. And the young man down is the right guard, number 62, Brian Honeycutt, injured. And of course they're not all that deep at that offensive line.
No, they're not. He's a senior. He's an experienced guy. He's used to playing against good defensive tackles. He's played against Andre Wadsworth before, Julian Pittman before, and Cannell Spain before. Now they're going to have to put somebody in there with less experience.
And at the conclusion of the game, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. And to date, Chevrolet has awarded nearly $6 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. That man right there, Bobby Bowden, has a plaque, and it lists all of the Chevrolet winners through the 90s. And I want to tell you, they have had some record. And let's go down now to Jack on the field. Jack.
Well, Brent, I'm not a punter. You know I'm an old center. But you were talking about the problem Sean List was having with the ball and punts last week. What he did is he went back to the film room this week, and he saw that rather than being fully extended for the kick, he was catching it about here. He said he increased it much better.
Don't fumble it. Don't fumble it, partner. Hang on. Hang on. Third down and 2 now. Split backs look for Keldorf. Pulls it back. Not much time. Down he goes. And oh, baby, there's penalty flags. Was there a face mask was grabbed? Reinhard Wilson was reaching in. Last week, Bulware got a face mask and a blocked punt. Or I should say they swallowed the punter, and as he ran past, he grabbed it. Take a look now at number 55.
Right-hand corner of your screen. He'll go outside, then he'll make a move outside, and he'll come back underneath. He's a good power rusher as well, and he grabs it, actually not by the face mask. He had him by the shoulder pad. The officials blew that call. Squawk a little bit. Look at, he's mad. Bernard, you didn't grab him by the face mask. 16 yards. First down. Look at these two defensive ends as a pair. 43.5 sacks. That's updated. It's now 44.5 sacks. Outstanding pair. Maybe the best pair we've seen in a long time. I can't remember what you said the Alabama group a few years back.
Yeah, Curry and Copeland were good. The coaches are screaming at the officials to take a look, to have an idea out there as to what Wilson was grabbing. First down and 10. 6:38 to go now in the opening quarter. No score. Second possession here for the Heels. The Heels very impressive if you just joined us defensively. It was 3 and out. Now Keldorf. Johnson behind him. Keldorf up a play fake. Got one-on-one, and he overthrew his man badly. That was L.C. Stevens, and he was extremely well covered against the left cornerback, and that would be number 20, James Colsey, with the coverage there on L.C.
Well, Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, said he wanted to go deep early on these people. Let those corners who are used to be playing successfully man-to-man coverage. See, they gave him pretty good protection. He had time, just a little too pumped up and threw it a little too deep.
You can see how little time against Bowden's defense any quarterback is going to have. I mean, he took a bump down there at the bottom of that foot. I mean, folks, it is short drop and throw it.
Get rid of it.
Second down and 10. No wonder the Heels desperately want to get a running game going if they can. This time, the rushmen know. Here they come. Wilson was closing in, and that forced him to throw badly looking for Johnson. I mean, there is no time. Folks, this is an awesome foursome. There is no question.
Awesome foursome. I like that. I remember the old fearsome foursome. I like awesome foursome. Bernard Wilson, number 55, left-hand side of your screen, being taken on there by Byron Thomas, number 75, and he's not setting firm enough, ladies and gentlemen. He's not setting strong enough. He weighs 330 pounds. He should be able to set a little firmer and get a better jam with those arms.
Get him set. Get him set. Going to be a long afternoon if he does it. Third down and 10. Shotgun will give him just a fraction of a second longer. The Austin foursome ready. Here they come. Keldorf quickly gets it off this time and hits his wide man, Nay Brown. Nay Brown was tackled by Mr. Colsey, number 20, and it's punting time. This game could feature a lot of punts with these two defenses.
Well, you know, North Carolina's had some problems. They had 2 punts blocked. They're allowing over a 24-yard kickoff return, and they've had problems against a punt return. And you're against one of the fine special teams organizations in the country in Florida State.
Rock Preston is the block man who's in, number 24. They send him in. This is the first time that they look for the middle. Now, they didn't come after it, but they think they've read something there. The punt is fielded at the 16-yard line. Look at now, and they've got an alley on the return, and that is their ace return man, number 33, D. Feaster. 5:29. No score.
Back here at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida, the University of North Carolina Tar Heels have gotten some bad news, Brent. Brian Honeycutt, their right guard, is out for the rest of the game. He has a severely sprained right knee.
Dick?
Well, that's going to hurt him, but they do have an experienced guy to back him up. Now, Mike Hobgood, number 61, came in and replaced him. He's been listed as the backup left guard, but really he's a swing man. He started the last 3 games last year, so he does have some game experience.
Bill Jack, find an umbrella.
It's starting to rain, huh?
Yep.
Does it rain in Florida?
Only for a little while. Yep, I see him coming on now. That rain gear down in front of me. All the Knoll fans, the garnet and gold, and over there in that one end zone corner, I see the Carolina blue. First and 10 now for Florida State. Ball on their own 37-yard line. And he took too much time. That's going to cost him.
Dead ball. Delay of the game.
Bad mistake.
On the offense.
Bad mistake.
5 yards.
First down of a new series.
First down of a new series coming out of a commercial.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this secondary. And here's the young man, Dre Bly. What a week he had, as North Carolina fans realize. 3 interceptions in 1 game. That's 4 for the year. Good cornerback, Ian Robert. Good free safety. Outstanding free safety. Omar Brown come hit you. Greg Williams, number 3, is the strong man. They are going to be busy before this one's over. Now here comes Dunn, swinging to the right. Dunn pounds his way to the 38-yard line. After the penalty put him in a 1st and 15 situation. That was Brown, along with Simmons. So 41 and 2 come up defensively for the Heels on that play.
The entire game plan is based on stopping Dunn, both in the running game and passing game. They plan to track him every place he goes, and in passing situations with 2 defenders, one inside him and one outside him.
2nd down and 8. And Dunn with the middle of the Carolina defense. There's Mays, number 53, was right there. And there's what he has accomplished career-wise.
2 years in a row over 1,000 yards rushing. His first Seminole running back to ever do that. And you just can't tackle this guy. You got a gang tackle.
Well, we got a 3rd down. Busby roll left. They practiced this all week long, getting some motion. Now he comes back. He's a good athlete, but he broke 1 tackle, but he couldn't get close to the 1st down. So the Noles will punt again. Penalty put him in a hole, and there was nothing doing, and we got an injured Tar Heel defender down at the 22-yard line. So will we check him out? Let's find out about Nebraska. Let's send you to our New York studios and Mr. John Saunders. John?
Well, Brent, as you know, Nebraska trying to bounce back from their loss at Arizona State, facing Colorado State today. They bounced back in a hurry. Scott Frost from 4 yards out. It was 21-6 at that point. How about 65-9 as your final at halftime? Todd Blackledge will break down exactly what went wrong with Nebraska last week. Brent.
All right, that should be interesting, John. We'll pick up Nebraska next week as we travel to Kansas State. Manhattan, Kansas, and Sean List, the punter for Florida State. That player who was shaken up, incidentally, was Brian Simmons, and he got up and walked off the field. Number 41, one of their talented linebackers. And so now Carolina will be looking for a return here. Bly is the return man. Beautiful punt by List. Now there's a major league punt. Drove him back to the 9-yard line. Watch this speed. Close in. Bly's got to get the corner and can't. Down at the 15-yard line. Well, you know, back in '93, there was a hype game between the Tar Heels and Florida State. Let's check in and see what happened. Charlie Ward was the quarterback. Carolina was playing pretty well, but then the roof caved in. This TJ pass to Kevin Knox, 33 yards. And so this week's Marriott moment features the Noles en route to a 33-7 triumph. And now, what about the North Carolina offense here, Coach?
I don't know about the offense, but I'll tell you the defense has got to gain some confidence. 2 series, Florida State hadn't done anything.
Maurice McGregor, number 35, checks in at that tailback spot, gets a first ball, and it was impressive.
They force him to cut back right now. Those 2 defensive tackles, normally they're tough to cut back against, and they can rotate 4 defensive tackles through there, and they plan to. Mickey Andrews said they're going to rotate people the entire time. You see, North Carolina has had success controlling the ball, and they must do that today. Plus 6 minutes. Today, look at this. They're doing just exactly what they'd like to do.
Second down and 8. Barnes, Octavius Barnes in the game, one of the wide receivers. McGregor cutting hard out to the 19-yard line. So the junior from Marietta, Georgia, wrestled down by Henry Crockett.
You know, we give Peter Boulware a lot of credit for his pass rush ability, but that time he constricted that run. Now, he didn't make the play. He didn't make the play, but he ruined it. He destroyed it and pushed it right back into the linebacker. He does both. He carries out the discipline of the defense, both run or pass.
So we get word that Simmons twisting a knee, and he's okay. It's starting to rain again, and out comes the rain gear. Keldorf under pressure, wide open is Barnes. Barnes out to the 32-yard line. Now here's a young man who's quite a story. See that little bit of a limp? Had a knee blown out there, and Carolina
From
coaches
the end
are
zone,
hopeful.
the right side of your screen, you'll see him come out of the right side. He comes underneath. There he is, Octavius Barnes. See, they blew the coverage again. Now, they've used that same series and same motion 3 times. They've completed 2 times. 44 Bush, linebacker coming after people. The helmet goes right up over the top of his head, and he keeps coming.
That was a D-helmet job there.
I've heard of D-cleaters.
First and 10. Johnson leads the way in motion. Johnson back on the field. He replaces McGregor, and he's out to the 39-yard line. So that's a 4-yard run. I'm going to tell you, number 45, Henry Crockett. His brother was a fullback here. Many of you remember watching the Indianapolis Colts surge toward the playoffs last year. And it was Mr. Crockett who carried the load for him as a running back when they thought school was out because Marshall Faulk was injured. So there's good bloodlines in this Crockett family, and this linebacker is coming on right now. Second down and 6, and Keldorf will change it up at the line. Go one-on-one. He's going to over Barnes, and it is broken up. What a duel back there deep. As Colsey and Hamlet. 18 is Sean Hamlet.
Here he was a post pattern coming deep. Now Colsey, 20, has him outside. Hamlet inside him. The safety there just drops back over and flicks it away. Good safety play, but he shouldn't allow that guy to get behind him. The safety should be deeper than that man.
I don't know, Coach. That corner was in behind him. They had him pretty good inside-outside that time.
They did, but I'm not sure that was what was intended.
Third down and 6.
Let's see if they go to that same motion series. They'll put the fullback at, yep, here it is. Number 6.
Got to find that tight end here pretty soon.
He's a corner.
Got to find Jones. Keldorf looking for him in the middle. Got time. Penalty deflected. They were looking for Jones. There's a penalty flag down. Could be holding there in the middle. Yes, it is. It's against the Tar Heels.
You know, when you have good pass rushers, they have 3 outstanding pass rushers. Someone's going to grab and hold those guys to stop them from getting the quarterback. Sometimes Coach even says, hey, at the last resort, grab the guy. Don't let him knock down my quarterback.
Steady rain.
Holding on the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Hunting time for the Tar Heels. Jack, how you holding up there with the rain?
Well, Brent, it's not too bad. Still haven't found the windshield wipers for the glasses, but this this actual turf will be very, very speedy even in the wet. The reason is it's prescription athletic turf. We've seen that all over the country. But in Florida, instead of having to go down about 12 inches with topsoil, they can use sand. It drains, and they can take 6,000 gallons a minute out of this field.
Here comes the punt now, and the Noles come up the middle, and they swallow it. There's the situation we were waiting for.
We expected that. They have a weakness inside. They have a special rush. They put an offensive running back, Brock Preston, in there. He doesn't block it, but the pressure inside, they get to it anyway. They got so many red jerseys coming in there. Way too many people getting in there free, and Dexter Jackson, a safety, gets in and knocks it back. Wow, what a turnover that is.
But now, can this offense do anything against this very talented North Carolina defense?
Brent, so far they haven't whizzed a drop.
Excuse me?
Excuse me. It's raining, isn't it?
Welcome to the locker room broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. First and 10 to help for the Noles at the 25-yard line. Shotgun look. Busby waits. Pressure closes in. Comes out. Got done. Good receiver. Inside the 20. Busts the tackle. And he's down to the 16-yard line. Warrick Dunn, if he's not the best running back in the U.S. and collegiate ranks, he's certainly one of the top 3.
This was an option route. Dunn coming out of the backfield. Mays 53 up in tight. Now he's supposed to take him to the inside. Now it's supposed to be picked up to the outside by the other linebacker. He didn't get there. But I'll tell you, Mays got over there and tried to make the tackle.
The slot man is Green. Andre Cooper down toward the bottom of your screen is the split in. They'll run Dunn left side. Great stop that time by number 41, Brian Simmons, who's back on the field, obviously.
He's not as heralded as Mays, and maybe not even as Hamilton, who's not playing right now. But he may be the most gifted athlete of the group.
Final seconds here, tick away in the opening quarter. Tallahassee, Florida. No score. Seminoles favored by 17. Is that the Pooh Bear?
That was the Pooh Bear.
Pooh Bear's back. Got himself in trouble, suspended for a game this year. Trying to get himself in shape. He goes about 280 or something like that.
286 to be exact.
That's a look at him. Huh?
You know, I stood next to him on the practice field, and he didn't look that fat. He's just big man.
Try to tackle it.
I think they're going to go for this 4th and inches situation. They like to use an unbalanced line. They like the quarterback sneak to the weak side of this formation.
Send in Kendra if you want the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, he's like a fullback putting in there.
Looks like they're going to let it run out and come on over here and talk about it. 4th down and 1. Defense, the name of the game. We are scoreless in Tallahassee. ACC, North Carolina and Florida State. While we're away, Scott Bentley, the field goal kicker, said, "Coach, let me throw it. Let me run it. Let me try to get the first down." Coach says, "Send Travis Chambers in. Let's hold it. Let's get on the board first. Let's see what happens." Bentley is the 3rd quarterback, if you wish. Dearly wants to take off with his new look shoulders, but instead he'll whack one right through and put the Noles on the board first. 3-0 Florida State here, and this is the first time in a year and 2 games that Florida State has not scored in the opening quarter. So the Tar Heel defense doing the job. Into the 2nd quarter, they've given up only 3 points.
Well, the Tar Heels have been tough coming into this ball game. They hadn't given up a touchdown in the 1st quarter or 2nd quarter or 4th quarter. Only 10 points in the 3rd quarter. Tough to score on these guys. And right now, their defense is dominating this football game. Look at the stats as we look at them right here. Plays 21-9 equals 10 minutes 30 seconds to 4 minutes 30 seconds. Controlling the clock, keeping that Fresno State, I did that again. Florida State offense off the field. That's one way to stop from scoring, but I think it's Florida State's responsibility to get back on the field. Get out there and stay there. Don't rely on the defense to get them back out there. Get out there and stay there.
Buckeyes on a rampage this season so far. Penn State and Wisconsin, a good one in Madison. Low-scoring game in Ann Arbor. Colorado, as John Saunders told you, jumps ahead of Texas A&M, and Chief Osceola says, "Let's go." Where's the offense? Johnson's back deep. it out of his hands. Bobble at the 12. Are they going to get to the 20? Yes. 25. Out to the 30 is Jonathan Linton. Pretty good return and decent field position coming up for Keldorf. Jack?
Well, Brent, you were talking about the 30 pounds that Scott Bentley beefed up over the summer. That's on a 5-foot, 11-inch frame, and there's a Nebraska connection to how he did it. It seems that he found out from the Nebraska trainers that there's a phosphate-based drink that not only builds mass, but builds muscle. Worked in the weight room, became a weight head, and now he can not only press well, but he also has a lot of pounds well as well.
And Jackie's 5 for 5 kicking field goals. You better stay with it.
First and 10 for Keldorf in the heels. Down 3. Johnson sidesteps to the right. Makes it to the 37-yard line that time. Gain of 3.
Did a nice job of reading that block and cutting back underneath that tackle and defensive end coming upfield. Darrell Bush, the good inside linebacker, makes the play. But Darrell Bush, they're moving him around differently this year, too. They move him up on the line of scrimmage and playing right on the guard. It's hard for the offense to determine whether to block him as a linebacker or a down lineman.
Samari Roll is in at the left cornerback. That means they'll bump and run. The Noles come up. They press both wideouts. Keldorf looks in that direction. Now throws high. Jones can't get a handle on it, and Hamlet, the free safety, was in behind him that time. But he was looking over at Samari Roll, the cornerback, and the wide man was covered like a blanket.
Well, you know, he's a tall tight end, and a week ago he jumped up above everybody in the end zone and caught one. At 6'5", they can afford to throw the ball high. He made a catch last week with one hand, as good as you'll see. This time he can't get it done.
The lights glistening off the Tar Heel helmets. They come up now. 3rd and 7 against this defense. Capers is the corner at the top of your screen.
With 5 defensive backs in there.
Roll's going to bump and run now on the left side. From no time, steps away and sacked at the 30-yard line. Down he goes as Greg Spires comes off the bench, the junior from Cape Coral, Florida, and the defensive end now with another sack.
You'll see him come from the left side of your screen. They push the quarterback up inside. 55, Wilson pulls him up. Now there comes the defensive right tackle, Spires. They're moving these defensive linemen around to keep them fresh, and the freshman's paid off that time.
Now let's see what happens with DePriest. 10 men ready to chomp and go. They roll again. They come after him a second time in a rush. He does get it off. Feaster, and it takes a big Carolina bounce. Out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. So we'll take a break. Florida State 3, North Carolina nothing in Tallahassee. A perplexed Nole offense. What has gone wrong? Folks, this high-power offense is without a single first down against North Carolina. That's right, the Tar Heels lead them 5 first downs to zip for the Noles.
I've never seen that before.
Wow. The longer the Tar Heels go, the more confidence they're gained as they flop the defensive lineman. Give that offensive line a little bit of a different look. Hayes steps up, Seaway backs off. Now they shift to an arc front. Take the center on, head up. Hold for Dunn. He pounds out to the 26-yard line.
They outsmarted themselves that time. They moved the defensive front late, trying to confuse the blocking of the offensive line, and they moved right out of the point of attack, and Dunn almost got through there. And if you don't stop this guy early, and he gets into the backfield, he is trouble. You'll see the defensive lineman sliding around there. They changed the defense, got the man on the center, but the hole was to the right side, and he found it.
Simmons needed to be a little more aggressive in taking on that lead blocker. Now 2 yards for their opening first down. They're not going to get it. This time, he was aggressive. I mean, he came right across there and took his man on. Brian Simmons looking good on that one.
I really like the play of Andre Purvis, number 70. Really did a nice job. You'll see him from the left side of your screen. He knocks people back right there in the hole, forces the ball to delay right there, and then comes Simmons 41 to make the play. Nice job by Andre Purvis. They, too, are moving their defensive linemen around, Brent. Giving them a rest.
3rd and 5. Shotgun look now for Busby.
Tight man-to-man coverage.
Busby reads it. Steps right, looks for somebody, comes back middle. Incomplete. Penalty flag is thrown, however, by the umpire, and that could be holding right there.
They had him covered like a blanket.
Against the Noles. So decline it and make him punt, and it's still not a first down for Bobby Bowden. And Bobby going to be getting that headset. He's going to be talking to these coaches.
You'll see they're playing tight man-to-man coverage. A lot of confidence. Dre Bly right there, number 31. He gets back underneath. On the other side, there was a slot. And they had those people covered one-on-one tight.
0 for 4 on third down.
Take a look right here. You'll see what I'm talking about. Tight coverage. No place to throw the ball. See the top of your screen? They try to run the double square in. Coverage, safety sitting in the hole.
Well, the holding would have brought it back. Receiver was open. Bly set to return Ulysses' punt. Whistle hit this one about the 12-yard line.
A little bit.
Rocket ship. Bly fields it at the 25. Cuts back left. Gives up yardage. Now cuts up to the middle and down at the 33-yard line where the Tar Heels put it in play again. Well, next Saturday, back on the air on ABC at 3:30 Eastern Time. That's our lineup. Good one. Penn State, Ohio State, the Buckeyes on a rampage. Penn State leading Wisconsin. Will be Nebraska, Kansas State. Down here, you're going to be watching Virginia against Georgia Tech. The Cavaliers and the Ramblin' Wreck. 3:30 Eastern next week. So now it will be Keldorf and the Heels. Their defense certainly doing their job. Can the offense do anything now against the Noles? We're about to find out.
Well, neither quarterback is spectacular, but at least North Carolina's maintained some ball control.
Is that McGregor who checked back in at the tailback spot? Yes, it is indeed. Maurice McGregor back in at tailback, Jack.
Well, Brent, you talk about Chris Keldorf and all of his travels. How about this for a story? He had to grow into being a quarterback. When he started in Pop Warner Ball, he was the biggest player on the team. So he said, I want to play quarterback. The coach says, no, you're playing the line.
Well, they tried to make a tight end out of him at Utah State as well, did they not?
That's where he broke a hand. Then he came back to junior college in California. Jonathan Linton is over there in the left slot, coming in motion towards you now. Set up there as sort of a fullback look on the right-hand side. McGregor there. Keldorf with protection. And Barnes, the receiver, that's his second reception. Out to the 45 and a first down. That's a 6th first down for the Tar Heels here. Trailing by only a field goal and doing a job.
So he did a nice job of running a little stop pattern, and the ball's got to get there on time against man-to-man coverage, and it does. He couldn't roll it, couldn't get back there. Samari normally plays a little bit tighter on those routes.
There's Barnes out toward the top of your screen. L.C. Stevens, number 5, split out to the right, towards the bottom. McGregor following Linton's block, left side, good, impressive run before he stopped at the 46-yard line.
You know, they get the point of attack block real well, and then the safeties come up and fill. Bullware 55, the top of your screen, comes around. See, they're turning him out. They're going up inside him like they game plan to do, but there looks like there's going to be a hole, and bang, up comes the safety to make the play. And Sean Hamlet doesn't miss many tackles.
Second down and 7 after the 3-yard run for Keldorf on the Heels. Down a field goal. Trouble, sacked again at the 41-yard line. Bullware.
See, that time he took Thomas all the way upfield. Keldorf held on the ball, and then he came back underneath him. And boy, that's tough, because he has the great spin moves. You know what I'm talking about, Brent? He gets him upfield, and then he spins back underneath him. What great quickness. Still maintaining ball control, regardless of the pressure.
3rd and 12. Defensively, the Noles have put a saddle on Jones, the tight end. The Heels have been unable to get to him. Short drop by our left side. Slot receiver coming out of bounds. It's punt time. Nate Brown was the receiver who's out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Well, the Noles offense is about to be on the field, and that is the punt block unit comes out there. This is the most effective play they've had offensively all day, with another Tar Heel player shaken up. Leon Johnson down on a knee, now up. .2.8 average. That puts him up over 100 yards in 4 games. And DePriest back deep. heat he has to feel right now.
Oh, boy.
10 men on the line. Gets it off. Easter from the 20. And Alley with his speed and down at the 32-yard line with 9:11 to go in the first half. Florida State leading, but only by a field goal. The newly expanded Doak Campbell Stadium. Largest crowd of this season. Watch Bobby Bowden Seminoles. It's an uneasy field goal lead for the second-ranked team in the nation right now, finding their hands full with a very talented North Carolina defense. And Florida State searching for its first down of this game. Thad Busby, the junior, still at quarterback. Penalty flag thrown on the play, incomplete. The fullback had slipped into the passing lane, and that's number 32, Khalid Abdullah. Boy, they are self-destructive. This is ugly so far. Jack?
Well, Brent, you were wondering what Bobby Bowden was going to say to the coaches up in the box. I can tell you what the coaches said to the players and actually the offensive line. They are not at all happy with the way the Seminoles are blocking. And in terms of sustaining the blocks, they said if we've got to go back to basics, they're not holding onto the block long enough. And Coach Vermeil, as you said, one of the keys for Carolina today is especially to shut off the ground game. And if you don't sustain a block, you can do that.
Jack, this is the Noles' 5th possession. They've gone 20 minutes and not a first down yet. And they face a 2nd and 10. Shotgun for Busby. He'll step up now behind center. Abdullah. He got a power eye. And Busby off the fake to Dunn is going to throw it. Fires. Still tight end. Battles. There's their first down. And it was largely because of Kamari Charlton.
They gave him time to throw the ball off that play action, and you have the big 6'2", 240-pound tight end trying to be tackled by a safety, and he runs right out of the tackle. Good tight coverage, just couldn't get him down. That was Greg Williams, a strong safety, trying to make the play.
Ball's at midfield. First down. Another play fake, and he's under pressure. Busby's going down in the heat on the 42, and let's send you to New York and John Saunders. John?
Brent, Penn State up against Wisconsin. Joe Paterno looking for his first win over the Badgers, losing his first 2 meetings. Curtis Enos, though, from 7 yards out, and they now lead 17-3 in the second quarter. Brent.
Rolling toward Columbus and a monster. Penn State, Ohio State shaping up as a big one. Here it is 2nd down and 17. That was Rick Terry, the senior from Lexington, North Carolina, who rolled in on that sack for the Heels. Another late shift. Penalty flag is down, and the play is stopped. So it was stopped before the snap, which indicates it'll be a penalty against the Noles. This is an ugly offensive performance for Florida State. I mean, this is one of the worst offensive performances you and I have seen them come up with.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense. 5 yards. 2nd down.
Yes, it is definitely the worst performance we have seen. Plus, any good football team we've seen this year hasn't played this bad. You know, they're just not in sync. I think you've got to credit North Carolina defense, yes, but they've got to get after those corners in that tight coverage.
Virginia, the only team in the ACC to beat Florida State, did it a year ago. Play Texas tonight, 7:30 Eastern time on ESPN.
Young Jeff Bowden right there with a headset. He signals the play in. He's the wide receiver. He receives the call from Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, in the press box. Got to come up with some good ones, Rick.
Won't be invited over to Pops. Rush this all that screen. Pick up and read perfectly, but Preston slips the first tackle and down in a hurry at the 34-yard line. Ryan Simmons rolling in there again. Not only is this a talented Carolina defense, but they're not being fooled, and that's a 5-yard loss as a result of that.
They're trying a screen pass. Now, you'll see the offensive lineman will start to move. Well, the defensive lineman read the screen as well. And Vonnie Holiday, number 90, moves inside out in the play. He shakes it up, and here comes Simmons, 41, to make the play. Good reading by the defensive lineman. Excellent coaching by the defensive staff.
3rd and 27, and the Noles are favored here to make it 0 for 5 on 3rd down. the 48, well short of the first down marker.
It's one of the few zone coverages they have seen so far in this first half. You can afford to change up and go a loose zone against a good attack. They still put some pressure on him with this zone. They rushed 4 and they covered with 7. And you can see Ellis, he can throw you around, number 87, and get to you. Came into the ball game with 11 quarterback pressures. That's a lot of pressure.
This fly back deep. Up the middle. Tar Heels coming that time, and Liss just booms one. Fielded to the 4-yard line. Because of that Knowles speed, they were downfield, and Bly running laterally out of bounds inside the 1-yard line. Oh, brother.
What a mistake that is. First off, he should have let it go into the end zone. You should never field the ball inside that 10-yard line unless you feel it's going to just come dead right now. Here he is at the 5-yard line, and now he starts back. He's fortunate he didn't get trapped in the end zone for a safety. Good pressure right there by Stringer, 86. Wow, what a mistake. A rookie mistake, and a little conversation right there. You made a mistake there. Yes, you're a redshirt freshman, but I hope you learned your lesson on that. What a break.
So Capers forces him out of bounds, and now the heat on the Carolina offense. Chris Keldorf. It'll be noisy down there in that corner. It's going to be tough to hear. Tight formation. They're going to throw out of it one-on-one. They do, and Barnes can't break free, but he had a step on Troy Saunders, the corner, who incidentally was downfield on that punt. And he's the one who forced Bly to make that catch inside the 5-yard line.
Just a quick play-action pass. It doesn't take long to get this ball off. Everybody reads run. They get the pass off to the left side of your screen. Octavius Barnes 4 has a step on Saunders, as Brent said. And Octavius is coming off major knee surgery, and he's almost 100%.
Gutsy call, but if it fails, it leaves you in 2nd and 10. Left side of the line busted across, and some heavyweight pushing breaks out down there.
Well, they can't move the ball back much further. It appeared that Geathers, number 74, the left guard, moved early. So they move it back to the half-yard line.
That's the noise factor. They broke the count down there.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
Mac should know. Of course, in the days when Mac Brown was a running back for Florida State, it was an erector set of a stadium. It wasn't closed in, and now that sound just cascades down on you at either end here in Tallahassee. Ever try a quick kick from the end zone, Coach?
No, I haven't.
The Knowles go for the safety this time, but I believe forward progress is going to be marked.
Ed's linesman marked it at like the 1-foot line right off the bat. No hesitation. Fennell Spain thought he had him in the backfield. Taking a look from behind the offense, there's penetration as he tries to come back to the left. There are all those red and gold jerseys.
It's a rock and a hard place.
And all the problems they've had in punt formation, to have to punt from here is bad. They come nailing it. Good penetration. Here it comes from the right side of your screen. And wham, good linebacker Phil.
I'll tell you what, if you've got a quick kick and you got a lot of guts, Johnson used to be a punter, but it's a real dangerous call. 3rd down now. Keldorf's going to throw, avoids the sack, and now they must punt. Now you watch the 10-man line for Florida State come after this one. It is feeding time.
They wanted to throw the play action instead of going deep like they did on 1st down, throw the out pattern to the right side of your screen, but good pressure forced him off balance. He had no way to throw that ball accurately. Now they have to punt. Rather than a 14-yard spread punt, they don't have that much room. He only has 10 yards. If he touches that line with his foot, it's a safety.
DePriest just has to get it out of there. Can't be worried about anything else. Just get a foot on it and clear it. And he did that. Penalty flag comes down. Feaster fields it at the 35. Down at the 26-yard line, but the penalty flag is thrown at the Knowles. Dexter Jackson, the free safety, who rolled in on the punter that time, and it's going against them.
Either be it running into or roughing, it's a different penalty. If it's roughing, it's a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
He was pretty vulnerable there, Dick. They might make it.
They might very well. That would give him the first down. Here's another look. If he just nudges into him, which we saw a couple weeks ago. Let's see what they signal.
Personal foul.
Yep.
That's it.
Roughing
First down.
Roughing, first down.
Offense, 15 yards. First down.
Good job by DePriest. Way to give up your body, partner.
Not very deep. Only 10 yards of room to get that thing off. And here comes Dexter Jackson going right into him. Definitely roughing the kicker.
No question, because a punter can be injured in that situation when the leg, you got to protect him. He could break a leg. In fact, I believe I watched Notre Dame in a Northwestern game, Coach. Broken Northwestern punters way back when I was a young man.
That was way back.
North Carolina's third first down by penalty out of their total of 7. Keldorf will try to change it up if everybody can hear him. Watson will pass it along to Johnson now.
See, what they're doing is splitting the tight end out, and that gets 6 men to run against rather than 7. It doesn't help them. They still can't run against it. With that formation, they force the outside linebacker, Vernon Crawford, to move out on the tight end, and therefore they get to run against 6 defenders, but they still couldn't block them.
You might say, folks, that the defenses in Chapel Hill and Tallahassee are just a little bit ahead of the offense.
No question. Early in the year, that's normally true. Not so true, though, always here at Florida State.
Second down and 10. There's got to be an uneasy feeling with the offensive coaches for the Seminoles right now. They're not accustomed to this. Out here in Tallahassee. Pusher in time, flips it off to the left, and then takes a hit, and he'll be helped back up on that side. Peter Boulware.
Here's Peter Boulware, the real good pass rusher. Using a good technique that time as well, see? Gifted athlete, he can do more than just speed rush. He can jump around people. Then he got great help from his inside tackle, Andre Wadsworth, number 85. When you have 2 people on the same side of a defense like that, coming together, boy, I'll tell you, it's a tough problem to handle. They've got to get into some draw running, I think, maybe to control that a little bit.
Third down and 10.
They're coming with 5 people that time, and they got it.
Sack. Got him again. 4th sack down at the 14-yard line. Boulware again. The young man from Columbia, South Carolina, the 6'5", 255-pound junior.
Well, what they did, they came with extra people to the one side, loaded up to one side with the linebacker as well, and they made a mistake and actually turned Boulware loose, it looked like that time.
So, DePriest tried again. Low, fielded. Feaster, midfield. 45 almost goes down. Cuts back to the left. Twists to the 41-yard line, where it will be Florida State's ball. The Noles lead it by a field goal. We'll be right back. College football on ABC Sports brought to you by Ford Motor Company, where quality is job one. And Burger King, where you can get your burgers worth. Tallahassee, Florida. Dick Vermeil and Jack Arute. I'm Brett Musburger. 3-0. The Seminoles lead the Tar Heels. What a defense they've got in North Carolina.
Yeah, see, Florida State is not the only team that's had trouble moving the ball. Look at that. 1 touchdown. And no, that 1 touchdown came after an 18-yard drive, after following a block punt. So nobody's really moved the ball.
2 shutouts in their 3 victories this season. 3 down linemen. Keith Newman stands up, and they'll run into it with Dunn. Dunn finds a little bit of a seam and makes the most of it to the 36-yard line. And we send you to John Saunders. What about the Wolverines and the Bruins?
Right, they're not having offensive problems like in your game. Michigan here, a little handoff to Chris Howard. Untouched through the line of scrimmage, and then 31 yards for the touchdown. 14-0, Michigan on top. Brent.
Never would have happened if Vermeil was still coaching.
Oh, that's a line of baloney. Thank you.
Nobody ever accused me of having a line of baloney. Second down and 4.
Oh, no?
There's Pooh Bear, our favorite fullback, that's up there in front. Pooh Bear Williams. See what Carolina can do here. Busby intercepted. Picked off by Bly at the 4-yard line. Interception number 5. From the nose got it back. First and goal. Well, that's one way to get it.
That's the best offensive play they had. And they were out of sync on that pattern. Receiver running one pattern, quarterback throwing the other. Going to try the post pattern to the left side of your screen. Straight drop back out of the eye, pumps, goes to the left side, he lays it up. See, receiver running the post, quarterback throwing the fade out the outside. 5th interception for Dre Bly. He runs up and he fumbles the football right there, gets it knocked out.
And Todd Fordham.
Todd Fordham is an offensive tackle, hustling back there to cover it. The ball's on the ground. Good job, Todd Foreman.
Wins the Hustle Award for the week.
He's the captain of that offensive football team. He
I
displayed
said
wide.
first and goal. Let me check that. The ball is at the 11-yard line. So the Noles can gain a first down inside the line. Let's see what they can do with this field position. Here comes Dunn. Quick hitter. Dunn. Touchdown, Florida State. Bobby Bowden goes for the juggler. Make a mistake. Let's put the ball in the hands of our best offensive player. Let's not mess around. Let's go right now. And that a huge moment in this football game. That has to be so depressing for Carolina. They had a turnover, but they fumble it on the 11. And now Bentley's extra point to make this a 10-point lead in the Tallahassee Rain.
They love those short scoring drives. 11-yard toss play, toss it deep to the tailback. Fullback going the opposite direction. I don't believe it's supposed to be blocked that way. I think the fullback is supposed to go with him. At least he did on Thursday's practice field. It was a mistake, but it fooled the defense. When you give the ball to your best player, you're never making a mistake. Look at the effort he makes to get it in there.
Airborne.
Again. Hard to run the eye toss when the fullback goes the other way. I haven't seen that play blocked like that. I didn't see it blocked like that on Thursday practice field, but it still worked.
There's the young man from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His mama was a police officer who was killed in the line of duty. Came over here and roomed with the great Charlie Ward. Ward settled him down as a youngster, and now Warrick Dunn has matured into an outstanding young man. Goes home, takes care of his brothers and sisters, big family. Walked away from the chance to go to the NFL to come back here and play as a senior.
Big move for a running back to do that because he would have been a high draft choice.
And Bentley ready. High kickoff, Johnson from the 4-yard line. Beyond. Powers out to the 26-yard line. Now it's a 10-point lead. Well, we can check in with John Saunders in New York and see what Todd Blackledge and John have got coming your way at halftime.
Coming up on Valvoline Halftime 96, we'll have all the day's scores and highlights. Plus, we'll be joined by Todd Blackledge at the Ledge as he breaks down a game most of you probably didn't see. Last week's upset, Arizona State knocking off Nebraska. It's all coming up on Valvoline Halftime 96.
That was something. 19 zip, 3 safeties. Here, Florida State, ranked number 2 in the land, leads, but only by 10 points. Keldorf, first down, and he hits Brown coming out of that backfield. That is Nate Brown out of Reidsville, North Carolina, the sophomore with the reception.
Getting the ball quickly out of the backfield like that is the best thing to do. You get it going toward the sideline, and remember, they've already used 2 timeouts, so they only have 1 left coming here at halftime.
Tar Heels scored all their points a week ago against Georgia Tech in the first half. So they went scoreless in the second half, and now working on their fourth quarter here without a score. This big moments now for the Tar Heels, down only by 10. Second down and 4. And they run Johnson Johnson. Johnson powers for the first down. Strong run by Johnson that time. They offset him a little bit. Andre Wadsworth making the stop.
They ran a trap play up inside, pulling the guard across the formation. And in talking with Leon Johnson, who actually claimed to North Carolina as a quarterback, and he played scout team quarterback as a freshman. You ask him about what he likes to run, he says he likes to spread formations, and he likes to run against the spread because it spreads the defense, and he likes to be the receiver out of the backfield. He actually thought he'd be a defensive back or a wide receiver, not a running back.
This is a four-pack spread. Offensive line really got to hold up on this one. Out in the shotgun. A quick throw. Knocked away over there on that side by Byron Capers again.
Very, very nice play by one-on-one situation cornerback Byron Capers. Little stop pattern, and he came in and he was very disciplined not to run into the guy early and just get the hand. I think he's mad at himself thinking, you know, maybe I could have picked that one off. Playing with a lot of confidence at the corner. They maybe ought to go with a little hook and go line.
Keldorf takes a look at that defense. Three wideouts over here to the right-hand side.
After him.
Boulware blocked, gets it off into the hands of Brown, and Brown on the near side at the 42, and of course that is short of the first down. Saunders, the cornerback, working on the near side of the field.
Keldorf showed some poise that time. He could see the safeties coming up. He could feel the blitz coming and just moved over. He took his quick receiver. He's coming right up inside. You'll see the protection. They do a nice job of picking it up. Most of the blitz coming from the right side. He's moving left away from it. Throws it quickly. Good job. Good poise.
They're down in 5. 2:01 first half. Carolina being shut out. Keldorf has to throw quickly. Sidearm gets it off. First down. Gets it into Brown's hands, and he found the marker.
Again, Bernard Wilson found the marker as well on the quarterback just as he threw it, and he's hurting just a little bit. He took it. Lunch right up underneath the chin from the right side of your screen. It's a shotgun snap. He gets back there. He comes up underneath Bernard Wilson, 55, and wham, puts him down. A lot of strength in those arms. He can throw you down. You know, you set to take away the outside, he goes inside. You set to take away the inside, he goes outside.
Slot left, the formation for the Tar Heels. 4 wide receivers now. They also slot a man down toward the bottom. Boy, that's asking that offensive line to really hold up here on first down. Here they come. He steps up against it, gets it one-on-one, goes deep downfield. Beautiful by Roll. Oh, what work by Samari Roll, number 2. An acrobatic defensive play by the corner who's been in the doghouse a bit here in Tallahassee.
You know what even makes that a more spectacular play as you see the throw materialize here as he's throwing it to a 6'5" wide receiver. And he leaps higher than the 6'5" wide receiver. An excellent job of coverage by Samari Roll. And Brent, you're right, he has. You know, a year ago he was a starter. And he isn't starting right now. Actually, when we came down here, they listed him as a third guy. But he's in there playing right now and playing well.
Dexter Jackson, number 11, was there defensively, too. Make it 2nd and 10 for the Heels. Shotgun look for Keldorf.
Playing loose zone now.
Receivers covered. Sprint right. Got an open man. Johnson can't get it. Had Johnson in a foot race with Henry Crockett coming out of the backfield. That's the matchup he wanted. He got it over Crockett's head, but he overled Johnson.
He put a real nice touch in this ball. He looked to his left. He saw the zone coverage, didn't like it, didn't panic, moves out away from the rush, and he just sort of lobs it up over there, but it was about 6 inches too far for the receiver, Leon Johnson.
Make this a 3rd and 10 for the Heels. They ain't bad in the second half either.
What time in the game have they given up any points?
Both sides. Bullwell set at those ends. They show press. They're coming. Jailbreak time. Keldorf steps away from it beautifully. Had an open man and couldn't get a ball into his hands.
What nice poise Chris Keldorf shows. And knowing that in talking with the coaches, they said this is what he brings to the offense. For a junior college transfer, you don't expect this. You'll see the pressure coming right up in the inside. Here he comes right. They're bringing Bush, 44. He gets picked up. They move right up inside. He knows there's red jerseys all around him, and he tries to lay it off accurately and doesn't quite get it done. But good poise. No panic move in that young man.
Derek DePriest out of Homestead, Florida. He's the punter. Under fire time after time, and this time Sean Hamlet goes back, and they loosen up the punt coverage this time. They didn't want to give North Carolina a fresh set of downs. They're going to let this one roll down, and it's going to be downed at the 1-yard line. Great play. Brandon Spoon, the talented freshman linebacker out of Burlington, North Carolina, downs it. North Carolina with 1 timeout remaining. Remember, they burned too early. Preston now is your tailback. He's behind Abdullah. And it'll be Busby as the Noles want to run this clock out if they can.
Being very, very careful down there not to do the bad thing.
Very content to take a 10-zip lead, and it is lucky for the Noles that they are up by 10. It was an interception, and then North Carolina fumbled the return of the interception. Second down and 8. The last 45 seconds, just to bang it straight ahead.
I think if I were North Carolina, I'd
exactly.
call the same thing.
I'd burn it right now.
Yeah, burn it.
So raining quite hard right now in Tallahassee.
See if you can force them to punt it out of their own end zone with this bad rain situation right now. You know, it's tougher to make that long snap, tougher to field the ball as a punter.
And that clock, they're going to just let it run on down. I'd have just stopped it and forced them. They use it with 4 seconds.
Timeout, North Carolina.
Take a look at some of the scores. John Saunders and Todd Blackledge coming up with all the details on the big ones. At halftime, Todd's going to take a look at the Cornhuskers' shocking defeat. And here, Mac Brown, with 4 seconds left. Is there any percentage of not going for the block here, Coach?
None whatsoever. Go ahead and just come after it full bore. Hey, if you rough them, doesn't matter.
Send 12 guys. Maybe the ref's not counting.
That's right.
Concession lines going to be a little bit long down there today. It's the only place where the folks can get dry. New look stadium here in Tallahassee. Beautiful place. Someday this will be Doak Campbell and Bobby Bowden Field. Book it. Now here comes Sean Liss and the punting team. A little bit of heat on the long snapper right here, Coach.
You bet. Even though they keep the ball dry as they can. See, the ball's sitting on the turf now, and it's getting some water on it.
So Liss standing deep in the Seminole end zone. 11 men up on that line. Ooh, high snap, but he gets it off, and that's going to eat it up.
Yeah, did a nice job of getting that off. Good job by Liss.
Back judge, the only person back there. And Liss, an outstanding punter, number 29, Sean Liss. He's one of the best punters in the land. He's a senior from St. Petersburg, Florida. You get a chance on Sunday next year. 10-zip, Florida State, but they're lucky to be up by that. Florida State leads North Carolina 10-0 because of 3 plays. The first one was a blocked punt by the Seminoles. They rolled in on DePriest. This set up the field goal, and it was Florida State 3-0 over the Tar Heels. The next play was just a horrendous break for North Carolina. Bly picks off the pass by Busby. As he cuts back, Andre Cooper from Jacksonville, Florida, jars the ball loose. It is recovered by Florida State, and from there, Dick, it was Warrick Dunn who does the rest.
They run the I toss. You know, they're going to have to get outside in the second half as well. They have not had success running up inside between those ends.
And as a result, it is 10-0 right now as Chris Welch checks in here to kick it off. caught up with Bobby Bowden, and he's not happy about the offense so far, as you might expect.
Well, Coach, 10 points, but still your offense has not gotten into gear.
It's not even close. We self-destructed. Get the ball, get a penalty, get the ball, get the penalty. Now, we're not doing things well right now.
What can you look for in the locker room to change that?
Well, number one, we must quit getting penalties. I don't know how many drives we started with a penalty. We must quit getting penalties and start. I think we see some things now we can do. But they've just done a heck of a job defensively, and we're not getting the ball to the receivers. I think the receivers are getting free. We can't get the ball under to them.
Look for any big changes in the second half?
Well, you know, if our defense can play like they're playing, we got a chance to win the dang game. We got to get better offensive. I know that.
And that pretty much sums it up. A penalty flag has been thrown here on the first play. And there is another dang penalty.
Halftime stats dominated by North Carolina. Time of possession, almost 8 minutes there. Third down conversion, Florida State 0 for 6. My gosh, I've never seen that. First downs 9-2. Total offense right there, but look at this pass offense right there for Florida State. Total domination by North Carolina defense. First half possessions for Florida State. Punt, punt, field goal. Punt, punt, interception, touchdown. Following that nice play for 11 yards out there, and that was one of their first downs, and then they punt again. Nothing.
So now it's 1st and 20. Greg Ellis on that defensive line, number 87. He's going to line up at right defensive end. He has been a force here.
He has been, Brandon. You know, the wide receivers for Florida State caught one pass so far in this ballgame. A wide receiver, one reception. They've got to get the ball to those guys. Some crossing patterns against these man-to-man coverages.
Ellis got down late. Sideline over there, but you can see the heels jumped on that play. Williams, 29, is right there with Keith Newman.
You can see North Carolina defense has been successful all year. They come in rushing for the season at 70 yards a game. Today they're giving up 35, right on schedule. 92 yards a game passing. They're giving up 38. That's better than they've been doing. Staying right on schedule, playing defense, supposedly against an explosive offense, shutting them down.
Donnie Holiday, number 90. In there at right defensive tackle.
Simmons leading number 41, that fine outside linebacker you saw playing in the first half with 6 tackles.
14 yards for the first down. Busby under pressure, fires complete to the 34-yard line. Nothing doing because of Brian Simmons, number 41.
Very talented in tight coverage on a backup. And they had pressure up inside. They stunted the defensive tackles up inside. He'll come around and get hit late. You'll see big 94 Rick Terry appear right there. The ball's thrown outside. Good coverage, tight coverage, no advance. When you throw the ball to a running back, you'd like to see him be able to make a few yards after the catch. Simmons, number 41, did not allow that.
80,120, the third largest crowd ever here at Doak Campbell Stadium, and some of them growing increasingly unhappy. Some of them also stayed in their motorhomes with the rain coming down here. Busby on a handoff, beautiful and done. Blast for a first down at midfield. What a big run and pull before Omar Brown makes the stop.
You'll see that they get the defensive end right here upfield with a good turnout block and run up underneath him in the draw play. See, up inside now, fullback, good block right there, and good quickness up in between those linebackers.
That is the first third down conversion of the game, and it was a big one for Warrick Dunn, who's averaging better than 5 yards a pop. He scored the game's only touchdown. The Knowles 50 yards away. Here comes Dunn to the short side, and he is cut off by the heels and made the most of it for a 1-yard gain. Simmons was there again, along with number 70, Andre Purvis. Jack?
Well, Brett, remember at the top of the show I told you how that Bobby Bowden wanted a tough game? Well, at halftime he talked about his offense, talked about those penalties, but the last thing he said to the entire team is, gentlemen, it's 30 minutes. It's a gut check. If you want to stay in the national title hope, you've got to come out and play better.
Yeah, Jack, I would fully expect the way Ohio State went into South Bend that they have a good chance to vault past the Seminoles, judging by the current score in the second place. We'll have to see how the voters take a look at that. And we've still got a long ways to go here, but clearly the Seminole offense is not what it was last year. Now Busby is back. Good protection. Middle's open, and he was able to get it into the hands of number 19 that time, E.G. Green from Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
This is one of the change-up coverages. They went to the zone coverage rather than man. Now on the bottom of your screen, you'll see Green come in the square in. There he is, and he takes that ball away. Good throw in between those linebackers against the zone. We may not see much zone coverage the rest of the game.
Mays almost had a shot at it, didn't he? Number 53.
He did.
Now first down again. So the Noles drive now to the 37-yard line. Here's the toss. This is Preston. Place done. That's back. A yard, perhaps. Greg Williams comes up from the strong safety spot. Going to be second down and 9 against Mac Brown's defense.
They've got those corners up just pressing, even when they're in the 3 wide receiver formation, just pressing them and then backing them up with the safety, defying them to go ahead and run some crossing patterns or post corner type patterns.
Messon is out to the right. On the short side.
Here they come. Good protection.
Down he's going. Fumble! Newman's got it for the Tar Heels at midfield.
Initially had fine protection. Credit the secondary. They took away the throw downfield. He had no place to go with the ball.
That was Greg Ellis again coming in and applying the pressure on the quarterback. Watch number 87 get in on him, and then 9 with the recovery.
He has time. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. See, he had plenty of time, and Ellis came around 87 and knocked it out, as you said, Brent. Credit the secondary with excellent coverage. They've got to do some sharp breaking patterns away from that tight coverage.
You got to wonder if the coaches are giving any thought to Danny Kendrick. You got to wonder. He's only a freshman. It's 10-0. Not trying to put any thought.
You love it. You love it.
Slot right. Offset high. Johnson pounds. 2-3 yards on that run right up the gut before Wadsworth makes a stop on him.
The big fullback Watson led through up there and took on the linebacker, and that was a heck of a collision because Darrell Bush, that linebacker, when you take him on, you're taking on a guy with experience and knows how to play. He's academic All-American. He's a smart football player. Tough to run up in there.
Wonderful scene right now with the lights flashing off the helmets here. Watson's the fullback. Fields trying to dig out. Here's the big running back. Cuts left side. Had a hole. And he smashes inside the 40-yard line. That's a Tar Heel first down. And that was just an experienced run by Johnson. Saw the daylight to the outside and seized it.
You can see they pull the backside guard on it, getting it around over here to block, and he cuts back. He cuts back. Now he'll come back. Now he'll come back underneath Boulware number 58, who got upfield. He's got to close that down a little bit.
Content to pound away, very conservative. This will leave with about 2nd and 8. Boulware coming over number 58 again in on that stop.
They're content to bang away up inside. Now they have a little counter option in the game plan that they haven't run because really Chris Keldorf is not an option type quarterback, but what it amounts to is a delayed sweep. We might see that somewhere here in this series.
We also watching an offensive line perhaps throw up if they're going to take the nose on helmet to helmet now and keep grinding it out. Oh, that's not growing up.
Nope.
Now when you back out that way, that's a huge penalty.
That was big Mike Baxter, number 51, the right tackle from Warminster, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia.
Good ball. False start. On the offense. 5 yards. Second down.
They'd only had 1 penalty in the first half, and that was down on the goal-to-go situation coming out, or actually the other way. They had 99 yards to go, and they had a penalty that moved it back a half a yard.
Let me ask our stats man, George Hill. Isn't Jones being shut out, the tight end? He hasn't caught a ball yet here today, has he?
They've thrown at him, but he hadn't caught one.
Yeah, George confirms that, and you've got to get the ball in his hands right now. At some point in this game.
On both teams.
Absolutely. 2nd and 14. Tackle standing up on the right side, you can see. Jones is the man down. Keldorf's not going to get it off. That's Crockett. Rolled in on him. Henry Crockett with a big game. He now has 10 tackles. That's his first sack of the game. He's a monster.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. This is what they do so well. Not a lot of time given to a quarterback here. He comes from right in the middle of your screen, and they blow the protection, meaning they just turned him loose. That's an easy sack. You don't have to be a talented linebacker to get that. Just have to be well-coordinated defense and good design by Mickey Andrews, breaking down the pass protection scheme.
3rd and 23. The Heels are not a favorite to pick up this first down in this situation, but they certainly do not want to turn the ball over. They want to punt it and play some field position here in the rain in Tallahassee. Their defense could well wind up being their best offense. Far sideline, going down, well defended, incomplete.
They're laying
Double covered over there on that far side. Capers was there with the free safety Hamlet, who broke on the ball, and there was very little chance.
There's a mismatch size-wise. 6'4.5", good speed. Now Capers is 6'1", so he's calling a lot of corners. But you'll see Hamlet 18 flash right into the screen. The free safety reading the quarterback's eyes, getting the jump to get over there and almost pick it off.
There was a player who was shaken up. So they are not set. Sean Hamlet is being assisted off the field by a couple of the Knowles trainers here on the near side. There you see Sean coming away. He was in on the coverage. Carolina was hoping to hurry out and get this punt off. Dee Feaster. He's moving back toward the 10-yard line. You're watching backpedal there. He's standing about the 11-yard line right now. And the Knowles say that there was movement in the line.
Well, if you're in a two-point stance, you can move. Your hand's not down. You can move and reset.
Red ball. Full start. On the offense. 5 yards. Flipping.
I don't quite understand that, but that's all right. Either does the coach, the big boss right there.
It helps the Knowles a lot at the other end.
You notice that Florida State has their entire regular defense in there right now, not going to switch to a punt return team or a punt rush group.
There's 4 linemen down. So the 10-man front is locked on. It's in right now to take the ball with Feaster fielding at the 23-yard line, where it will be first down. We're in the 3rd quarter. The Knowles are shutting out the Tar Heels.
It's a big Big Ten battle when Penn State invades Ohio State, or other regional games featuring Nebraska, Virginia, and USC next Saturday on ABC's College Football.
That figures out to less than 5 yards an attempt for junior Thad Busby. He's thrown an interception, and he has also fumbled. It's going to be a tough week here in Tallahassee for this quarterback.
And I don't think he's really totally at fault. They just haven't broken any receivers in pattern design away from tight man coverage. They even haven't even tried to pick yet.
Against a very talented defense.
Yes, they are.
Oh, here they come on the blitz. Simmons coming in. They're going to bring an end around against it. Good call, Arinston, right now. Peter Warwick looking for daylight.
You know, that looked like it was going to be a better play, and I think it was a good call. They need to loosen up that inside that defense. They're a real good flow. They were bringing everybody up inside. 53, middle of your screen. He's coming 41 rather. Simmons up inside. It fools them. But these white jerseys, blue pants, they can close. Even the defensive lineman can run. That looked like it was going to be a much bigger play than a 5-yard gain.
Big Andre Purvis, 6'4", 294, the senior from Jacksonville, North Carolina, giving heavy chase that time. 2nd down and 5 for Busby. Carolina looking for a turnover, looking for something to happen on defense, looking for the defense to score any way to climb back in there, down only 10 points. They swallowed up. Great penetration that time. Rick Terry, number 94, came on in there with Mike Greenley.
Yeah, they done swallowed him, that's for sure. Good call. See, they brought the outside linebackers as well. A lot of pressure on them that time. They weren't going to let them cut back. They just came down from the backside and forced it right up in the middle. No place to go.
Knowles favored by 17, lead by 10. 3rd down and 8 yards with Green, the wide receiver, shuttling in from the sideline and bringing the play on in from Bobby Bowden's sideline now. Knowles come up in the range.
He's got him by the trousers.
Couldn't break free from number 94, Rick Terry from Lexington, North Carolina.
He's going to pull his shorts right off him. He's really strong. He was the most outstanding off-season training guy and got that award. He grabbed it by one hand and just pulled it down. Taking a nice look here. It's a draw play. It's going to break to the left side of your screen. He comes up inside. There's 94. Reach in there. Grab it right by the back of the pants. Don't look, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
good punter, Sean Liss. Return man owes the Tar Heels one. This is Bly. He hauled a punt out of bounds inside the 1 in the first half. And remember, after his interception, he fumbled it. Now here he comes. Goes back down to the 38-yard line. Tar Heels fall down by 10. Football on ABC Sports, brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. And Chili's Grill and Bar, home of the Big Mouth Burgers. The rain draining away here from the remodeled stadium in Tallahassee, Dick.
You see there Henry Crockett, the outside linebacker, leading him there, right there with 9 tackles. Doing a real good job. 4 sacks, 2 halves. Is that up to be 5?
Tailback. Nothing doing. And Bulwell closing in from that defensive end spot, number 58. We have called his name all day long.
Right. I can see what they're trying to do when they split the tight end out, the big tight end, and move him into the slot and try to get the defense to loosen and move. And they did, but they still have not been able to block 6 people inside. Look at Florida State defense. On the season, they were allowing 42 yards a game. They're up to 29 today. Doing a good job. Pass defense, 100 yards a game, 76 today. They're ahead of schedule.
Freddie Jones is 6'5", 225, a senior from Landover. He's there on the right side. He's the tight end. He's running free off the line, and he's got this one. So finally, they get the tight end into the attack, and that's out to the 43-yard line.
And real good tight coverage by Derek Jackson coming inside on it. He'll right in the middle of your screen, 92. He comes off, he goes right to the flat. They nail him out there quickly, but good tight coverage coming inside out, and also excellent tackling. Now you're tackling a 6'5", 255-pound tight end.
At the end of that, there was a late flag. They roughed the tight end over here, and that's going to be 15 more yards. This is going to be a huge play. So they get the tight end into it. Now watch him out of bounds over here. He is going to get hit. Is that Mr. Colsey coming in there? Yes. It is indeed, and that's very late. He was
stupid. Absolutely stupid. You know, he's got enough experience as a senior. He should not make a mistake like that.
Now, most of the time in this game, they have preferred to run Johnson on first down. They need a variety here. The Tar Heels have got to change up on their first down pattern. They slot a man out to the left-hand side. Jones is still down to the short side, the tight. Here he comes again. Oh, he squeezes through and made the most out of that, but there's that call again. That's a good run by Johnson because the Noles were ready.
See, what they're doing is they're taking the linebacker, like here in this case, Bush, and putting him right up on the line of scrimmage. So it's an extra defensive lineman, and he comes in there, and they get that push right up inside. He's right on the line of scrimmage, coming on that inside gap like that. Tough to get through there. I would check off and get out there and get outside.
Well, they also got to bring that slot man fast on that slant over there. They're not giving Keldorf any time at all. Now they got him in 2nd and 7. Coach Matt Brown. They're going to slot Barnes. He's a veteran wide receiver. That's usually the dangerous man. Troy Saunders, the corner, moves over to take it. They're going to be content to run it. Johnson pounds it now to the 33-yard line, so this is going to be about 3rd and a couple. We'll wait to see exactly where they spot it. Crawford, linebacker, the senior, making the stop here.
They took advantage of that same defense again, but Chris Watson, the fullback, led in there on the linebacker, and he just missed the block. Boy, when you run a play like that, you need that block by that fullback, or it's not going to be successful.
Coach, with the rain coming down to that, is that doing any of the play action in this situation?
Well, I don't think it. You know, I think these guys go ahead and play anyway. I don't think it affects their call.
Wide receivers have to switch spots. Barnes is off to the left. 3rd down. Long 2 now for the Heels. They'll bring Barnes back toward the formation. He's going to run Johnson again. He's going to be short of the first down. Very conservative. They had to get something going that time. Dick, they've got to get themselves on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they didn't want to take any chances, but it's so restricted in there because they've got 7 people lined up in that box. Plus, they're reading the safeties and bringing both safeties. As soon as run shows, they're bringing both safeties running up in there, and you end up trying to run against 9 guys. Too many people to block.
Now you got a 4th down and 2. You put the field goal up on the board, eventually you're going to have it. Trotting out of the field is Josh McGee. You either go ahead and kick this, or if you got a real good fake, you jump them with it right now. DePriest is the punter.
They're running out of time. They're going to get out of time. Out of time.
That's a huge 5-yard when you're setting up to kick a field goal. Inexcusable. Down 10 points, and you can't do that.
Is he upset?
That takes you out of field goal range, basically.
Yeah. Oh, Brent, and the difference in 5 yards makes in a field goal with that difference is at least a 20% difference in efficiency.
Now the way your defense is playing, you're better off pooch punting, coach, and just send the defense out there.
You are. The defense is playing too well. A little bit of indecisiveness right there. I don't believe they did that on purpose. Maybe they did.
David Seacrest will come in to pooch punt it. Watson is the up back. No, they didn't do that on purpose. Send nobody back for the nose. They're going to hope that he rolls this one into the bobbles it. Had they been coming after it,
sure.
They get downfield, got to hurry, go in the end zone, coming out the 20-yard line.
They were in a regular defense, no one coming. You should always have a guy pressured in case it's a bad snap or anything. That gave him time.
Timeout. All right, you're Dick Vermeil. You got a big game coming up. Which of these defenses do you want, Florida State or North Carolina?
Well, I'll tell you, I think Florida State is a little quicker. And I think they're a little deeper in talent in the backup units, both in the secondary, so I think I take them. I'm selfish.
But they're both pretty good.
They're both excellent. I mean, you put me on the spot, buddy, but I went for depth then. I went for guys that have more people. And I'll tell you, North Carolina has good depth in that front 7.
Really slowed down their pace here a little bit. Maybe the Seminoles think that give themselves a time, and they fake the end around. Dunn keeps it, cuts back, smashed at the 21-yard line. Jack, I don't see him hurrying back up to the line of scrimmage. What's going on down there?
Well, Brent, you were talking about time. That's what the Florida State Seminoles want. They want to be able to sit down and think about what their offensive assignments are. So gone is the no-huddle offense. They've taken Busby and the rest of the offense and said, go back in the huddle each time. We'll still signal in the plays the same way, but think about it.
Sounds a little older today.
Yeah, he's getting a little rusty.
I don't understand that. Okay, it's 2nd down and 8.
See, the other thing they're doing by doing that is they're eating up more clock time. They got the 10-point lead. The defense is playing well.
That shift. Gap. Dawson keeps it. Busby rolls out of bounds at the 25. They wanted the flag, and the coaches are right there screaming that Busby was hit late. Simmons was defending it.
Good action, good counter action, because the defense flows so well. They can all run, and they play so aggressively, especially those down 4 people. A little counter action like that with a quarterback keep is quicker than handing off a counter action. And safe, they actually wanted to throw the tight end crossing pattern, but it was covered.
Boy, a field goal would have looked good there for the Tar Heels, Coach. It would have. Seminole fans are saying, what field goal? Let's get another 10 points and get out of here. 118 to go into 3rd. I know what you mean, partners. It's 10-zip Florida State.
4 wide receivers, and they're up playing them tight.
Busby lets him come under pressure, and he simply overthrew Dunn. And down goes Busby. Andre Purvis rolling in along with Mike Pringley.
They had 4 wide receivers in there. Defender peels off, and Pringley 91 comes in and got a little help. But see, the fact that the rushman Keith Newman, number 9, peeled off with the layoff back, he was afraid to throw it, so he had to eat it.
Think they go try to block it?
Well, they've got enough people up there to do it.
Sean List, awfully good punter. You get a bad snap, maybe.
No, they're not rushing. Beautiful punt. Wow!
Bly. Back back at the 20-yard line with the fair catch. Well, Dick, let me ask you this about Monday night. You'll be going to the vet. This is a huge game. What about the Eagles and the reeling Cowboys?
I don't know if the Eagles are ready, but I'll tell you that city is ready. You think it would be an NFC championship. They've hyped this game something vicious. They put all kinds of pressure on the Eagles, and I really believe they got a heck of a shot to knock them off. I'll be surprised if they don't.
Crisis game for the Dallas Cowboys.
No question. And when it's a crisis, they've got enough talent there to just step up and play their best football game.
They line up that fellow from Gainesville. He's about ready to break out, that Emmitt Smith. Excuse me. 10-0. Now Keldorf will start Johnson toward the short side of the field in motion. Can he get it off? And Wilson going to go deep down the middle. Nobody there.
And every time he's throwing the ball deep downfield, for the most part, he is throwing it just a little too far. He's getting the air up under there, getting the ball up there high, letting him run under it, but they just can't get there. Clever formation usage that time. Put the running back in motion to get him on a safety, and then get the tight end man-to-man on the other safety. First down. There's probably isn't a down by either team that they're doing a very good job on, but you can see here on third down, -3 yards. Second down, 1.5. No way you can move the ball with those kind of stats.
Last minute, third quarter. Second and 10. Deflected. That was Newman got a hand on that ball.
Hard to run those kind of patterns, those delay underneath patterns to a back coming out of the backfield when you're most of the time you're in man-to-man coverage because there's somebody sitting right there. You know, I'm torn between just raving about both defenses or being very critical about both offenses. And I know how the Florida State coaches feel, and I know how their offensive coaches feel. They're just not getting the job done. Either way. Spreading out right now.
Going, diving reception at midfield. A beautiful catch that time. And it was number 5 doing the job. L.C. Stevens from Clinton, North Carolina.
This is the 3rd or 4th time in the ball game they've tried to get the ball to L.C. Stevens, number 5. He's a state champion 100-meter guy in high school, and see how big he is at 6'4"? I'm not so sure he just didn't out-physical him for that football at that time. Troy Saunders is only 5'10". That's a physical mismatch if you can both run fast.
31 yards on a huge third down.
That's the first big play we've had offensively by either team, is it not? Really? Other than the 11-yard touchdown run.
So 31 yards gets it into Seminole territory now on 3rd and 10. So Keldorf brings him up. Can the Heels finish it off this time? Keldorf, pressure, steps away from Wilson, goes right side again. Intercepted at the 22-yard line, and that one picked off by Smith. Shevin Smith out of Miami.
That was not a very smart decision on Keldorf. He laid that ball soft up there, trying to get the back on a fly pattern out of the backfield right there, and he couldn't get it to him, and the safety is just sitting there. To the left side of your screen, you see Watson, number 6, coming out there. He gets time to throw this thing. He lays it up. Actually, he got hit right at the end that made it tough. But see, he tried to hit the fly pattern. You'll see him get hit from the right side of your screen. There's the pressure. Pow, down he goes. That was big number 9, Greg Spires, decking him. That was a good call, good decision to go to it, but it was not a good throw. Maybe the pressure created that bad throw.
4 turnovers in this game.
Well, at least they're even.
Now 4 wideouts for Busby. Dunn next to him. Shotgun, this is the rifle. There's that inside handoff on it. Dunn scoots out of there. To the 30. First down, nice run to the 35-yard line.
Well, you get him into that secondary at all. I mean, it's amazing. It looked like it was going to be a bigger play. They're all playing man-to-man on those outside receivers, and many times the defenders back there playing man-to-man don't see it. You'll see the draw play handed off out of the shotgun. The hole opens up, and now he explodes to the right side of your screen. You see he has more speed than the jerseys coming inside out.
Omar Brown, free safety, makes a stop, and that'll end the third quarter. We're through 3 in Tallahassee. The Seminoles lead the Tar Heels by 10. Back with the fourth quarter after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jackie. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, not bad. Hey, we're pretty good, huh?
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And look, they got good drainage here, too.
Pretty soon, Social Security, eh, partner?
Yeah, not very far away, Brennan. Right behind you. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
That's great. Happy birthday, partner.
Tell those girls to bring that cake up here, partner. Well, let's take a look at some of the sights and sounds on a rainy Saturday afternoon in Tallahassee. Here's how it all unfolded, and it was basically they got the clocks corrected. So let's first see this snap here on first down, then we'll bring you all up to date what's going on. 1st and 10 now for the Seminoles. The ball on their own 35-yard line. Busby's got time and an open man behind him, but completed the ball to Ron Duggins out of Tallahassee. And here's what we've had here today. Kind of day it has been. Defense, couple block kicks by the Noles. 10-zip right now. Inside of 14 minutes. Busby operating from the shotgun. Under pressure, goes deep left side almost. Yeah, intercepted by the Tar Heels off the ricochet. That man again. Dre Bly. The one thing he is always around the football. That's 2 more interceptions today. 3 for number 31 last week.
For some reason, North Carolina's changed up the last 2 snaps and gone to zone coverage. And they read the coverage, and they go to the corner pattern in, trying to get in behind this corner, rolled up corner to safety, and it's batted right over to Black. And this guy is always at the right place. Take a look at the end of it at the top of your screen. 5 interceptions in the last 2 games.
6 total. This time he doesn't fumble it back. And Newman just kept on pressuring right into him that time. Now, the Noles come up offensively. I should say the Tar Heels come up offensively. Let me correct that. Obviously, they've got the ball after the interception, and it's Johnson Hole right side, and he smashes out to the 46-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain on first down, Coach.
Yes, and they came off the ball real well. The offensive center, Jeff Saturday, came off the ball real well. Mike Hopgooder at the right guard, and Gathers. When you run up straight ahead with man-to-man blocking up in there against these people, you're doing a good job. They're coming off the ball.
Penetration by the defensive line.
You called it. Plus Henry Crockett, 45, the inside linebacker. He was up inside there. Penetration, boy, when you're deep in the backfield, hand it off, and all of a sudden there's a different color jersey in your face, there's no place to go. Crockett did a nice job.
The magnificent Nole defense. Offense has had some problems today, but it's matched against one of the best defenses in the land. Keldorf on 3rd and 6.
They're coming with pressure up inside.
Steps away and under through the receiver, Nay Brown.
He had a shot at that. He saw the pressure. He moved the pocket to the left, and he's mad at himself because they say, the coaches say, that he does have the ability to move and throw, and he doesn't have to have this design movement pattern like that, and he just throws it poorly. He had a chance at that.
You see Johnson do a good job on Bulwer. He cut him that
time. Cut him down, and they also used the back on that. That's a good change-up on him. Get him low. As long as you get him, he better go to the ground.
Here's the Priest. 1 blocked already. Noles show 10 now. They've blocked the field goal. No, they're not. And a punt. It's in for Feast for the field this one. On the 18-yard line. Steps back. Down at the 21-yard line. The time, 12:50 6:33 to go. The Noles lead it by 10.
The Cowboys aren't riding high. They're on a rough road. They'll try to keep the Eagles from soaring on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Welcome back to New York. Back to your game in just a moment. But first, Ohio State and Notre Dame. The Buckeyes with a terrific game. Stanley Jackson, 14 yards to D.J. Jones. They win it 29-16, so the Irish pick up their first loss. But talk about a great day. Troy Davis of Iowa State in a win over Missouri. 378 yards and 4 touchdowns. Brent.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he's making a rush at the Heisman Trophy. He had a little bit of publicity coming into this season, unlike a year ago. But that Ohio State final, John, that really sets up something interesting because Penn State ranked number 3 in the AP and Ohio State number 4. Florida State with only 10 points. You got to wonder how the voters will unravel all of that if this particular score holds up down here.
Well, right now, this is not a number 1 team in the country right now. Offensively, a number 1 team in the country will put points on the board.
This is Preston, who has come in, and Jack Arute, are they keeping the footballs dry down there, partner?
Well, Brent, they are, but on the Florida State sidelines, they have a special way to blow dry the balls. They literally put the ball in here. It has forced air heat. They close it. You come over to this side, and the ball comes out. We don't have one in there right now because it's totally dry. But here's what just happened. North Carolina found out about this ball dryer. They don't have one on their sidelines. They went to the officiating crew. The officiating crew said, no more. Can't use it.
Hey, Jack, I got a hot dog that's cold. Will you put a little mustard on it? Shove it through there. Heat it up for me good.
Shaq used it as a hairdryer.
Get down there. A 4 yard. Here he goes. Brock Preston breaks it. 40 in a foot race. Midfield. Fresh running back. Out of bounds, not quite. Stop at the 28-yard line. Greg Williams pulling him down. There's the biggest running play of the day. 47 yards for the junior from Miami.
The whole key to that is the block of Pooh Bear Williams, number 22. Follow him into the hole to the right side of your screen. He gets a beautiful block on Simmons, and that gave him the room to get going. Then 4 secondary tackles. Real good block by big Pooh Bear Williams.
Will the Noles get up 17? A lot of folks hoping so right now. Florida State got the first down here with 11:27. Needs to be big in a lot of precincts, and a lot of other folks are hoping for the Tar Heels to stand tall. Let's see what happens here. Tripped up. Got about a yard or 2.
Mays came around from the backside. You know, when he plays up close to the line of scrimmage like that, you're confused as to whether to treat him as a linebacker or a down lineman because he can play both. And he really is a true linebacker up there, and you have to block him, though, as a down lineman. He came around from the backside and did a real nice job. I talked to him last night about playing defense as a linebacker against this team, and he says, you know, they're not real complicated. They just do what they do real well, and they have good people doing it. He said, not real complicated to figure out.
Wayne Messam is the slot receiver toward the top. Time for Busby. Goes end zone. Incomplete as it fell away from Peter Warwick. Dre Bly, number 31, defending that pass in the end zone. And it's going against Florida State. A holding penalty would have come back anyway.
You know, they tried the post move up there, and they went to the zone coverage. Now, I don't think I would, as successful as the tight man-to-man has been, I don't think I'll change up into the zone. I'd stay in that man and defy him.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards, repeat second down.
That's Peter Boulware there. His knees being iced over here on the sideline. He just played another outstanding game as a defensive end, along with Wilson, who now is tied for the school sack record. Just break Simmons' record. He'll be the all-time sack man, the man who teams with Boulware.
I think we ought to team up and be that man's agent. He's going to be a first-round pick.
Don't be sending him out early. I think he's only a junior.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's a junior. Good one.
Of course, there'll be enough sharks in the water after that blood. Second and 20, eh?
Coach Bowden didn't get that message at the halftime to stop those penalties, did he? Didn't get the cross. They're loaded up in front.
Done. Gap. Cut back. Middle. Down at the 33-yard line. This will be 3rd and long.
They're getting some good blocking out of the fullbacks right now. The offensive line looks like they're coming off the ball a little bit better than they were. Maybe wearing down these defenders from North Carolina a little bit. They're big, strong guys, but 865 you see in the middle of your screen there. And Trey Thomas, 70 now. He's a 330-pounder. He ought to be able to knock somebody off the ball. Pearsall's a good blocker as a tight end, but there's a lot of white jerseys at the point of attack.
Take a 3rd and 14. Here's what the Knowles are today with 3rd down conversions against this Tar Heel defense.
1-9.
Play fake. Got one-on-one with Speaker against Bly, and Bly knocks it away out of bounds.
Geez, I don't remember. It's the second time now I've seen it in this ballgame. I don't remember Florida State using play-action passing on 3rd and long. I just don't remember that philosophical approach to attacking a defense before. They used the play action on there. Everybody knows you're going to throw the ball on.
Well, we used to watch him in the shotgun on 3rd down all the time.
Yes.
Ward, certainly, he came along and really elevated the fast break. Then
Right.
they found that Danny Cannell
Could do the same
I
thing once
remember
he got
against
going.
Florida in that great comeback. I think they lined him in the shotgun up.
The whole game.
Yeah. Now here comes Liss. Bobby Bowden very content to turn this one over to the defense. Not a good snap. And Liss powers it into the end zone. He was fearful, I think, that somebody was moving in on him. He actually had more time than he thought back there. So the Heels will be 80 yards away when you come back. We're back in Tallahassee. No, you're not number 1. No, you're not. No, and not going to be next year. Maybe at the end of the year. But anyway, college football on ABC is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites. We believe when you're comfortable, you can do anything. Domino's Pizza, who introduces their newest crust sensation, Roma Herb Crust Pizza. And Discus Athletic Activewear. Discus Athletic, the one thing to wear for every sport. 9:27 to go. Rain coming down in Tallahassee. Play fake, Keldorf. Going to be sacked again. Down at the 12-yard line, Greg Spires, number 90 in there.
See, that's the second time Spires has gotten there, but it was a play-action pass, and what collapsed is the protection inside. He tried to step up, and Andre Wadsworth was right in his face. From the left side of your screen, 85 Wadsworth. He pushes the guard right back, and he steps up, and here he goes. Good power move right there. Then comes Spires, number 90, to put him down.
Looked to me like big number 75. Your buddy was doing a lot of look at that. Yeah, you gotta find one of those guys. Go ahead. It's okay. It's legal to hit somebody down there. 9 minutes now. 2nd and 15. Nice ball. Johnson on that trap explodes to the 29-yard line, but just short of that first down. On 2nd and 15, Dexter Jackson saved it from being a first down or even longer.
The big offensive right guard right here pulls across and traps as they block back inside, and that opened to the hole. Good call. Bang, there's the trap up inside, and there he is. He gets the block right there, and there's the hole. Good job to trap those tackles that last time just drove your guards back. If they're coming that hard, do something different to them.
Well, Mac Brown might be thinking about 2 downs to make this one. Time running down on him, down by 10. You hate to give it up down here. 3rd down, long yard. Now it's 4th and longer.
And Leon doesn't look like he's a bounce runner where he can hit up inside and then bounce to the outside if it's not there. Just too many red jerseys. Now, you couldn't call that red, dude. You call that garnet?
Garnet.
Garnet. Right down the line of scrimmage. Offensive line comes off, but there's just too many jerseys coming there. You see Boulware went underneath, constricted it, and sometimes you'll see a tailback deep in the eye bounce outside that when he sees it. But Johnson doesn't really seem to have that in his style of running.
A lot of folks pulling for another block punt here. They get this one off. I wonder if they're coming after it. Breeze getting ready now.
Standing inside the 15. Oh, got it again.
The Noles will have scoring position inside the 25-yard line. Number 11 rolling in again. Dexter Jackson.
That's me. I got it.
I got you, partner.
Well, he's a state champion in the 300 meters, and he doesn't have to run 300 meters to get to the ball. It's only about 14 yards back there. You know, nowadays, you cannot touch the center until after he snapped the ball and pause. And they're not even fooling around with the center anymore. They're finding other places to rush and block punts. We've seen a lot more successful punt rushes this year. Maybe that's the reason. Look at him. Good job of getting right at the block point.
There was a penalty on Carolina, declined, Florida State ball, so they've got the chance they wanted.
You don't win a football game when you get one punt block very often, let alone get two. They had two last week.
He blocked both of them, ladies and gentlemen.
Same problem. You've got to protect those inside gaps. When a guy comes up inside, like if they're going to block it, force him to come around to the outside. Okay, Jack.
Brent, maybe we've got ball gate here. I'm not sure. They are still drawing the Florida State Seminole balls in here, despite what the refs have said. Now, my understanding of the rules on a lot of things, if one sideline doesn't have it, you can't use it. But nobody's ever talked about ball dryers before. They've still got dry footballs when they're on offense.
I think that's smart.
Oh, I don't know. They haven't done much with a dry ball. Might as well try a weapon. Back in that shotgun. Now he'll move up under center. And he uses running back. Done to the 20-yard line. John, we've had some big plays today, but what's the biggest?
Well, it may yet turn out to be the biggest because Wisconsin is creeping back against Penn State. This is your Burger King play of the day. Ron Dane, 12 yards out, muscles his way. Should have been tackled 3 or 4 times, gets the touchdown. They are now within a field goal of knocking off Penn State. We'll keep you up to date. Brent?
All right, John. I wonder how much time is left in that game. Probably coming down toward the fourth quarter. They probably started the same time we did. 10-0 now. Florida State here, and they'll run the toss play with Dunn, and he slips and he's down at the 20-yard line, and this is going to leave them with a 3rd and 5. Hard to believe with this field position that the Noles haven't been able to eat up a little more real estate here.
That's right. You know, and early in the game, they got the block punt, and we're down there and ended up with a field goal. Dunn, 18 carries, 3.9. That's way below his average. His career average is 7.1 yards a carry. Last year, he was 7.5 yards a carry. Their defense has done what they wanted to do. They've done it to Dunn.
And the Noles only 1 of 10 on 3rd down.
You know, Bobby Bowden made the statement. He says he still thinks they're searching for a common strategy on offense, and I think it's glaring.
Going to have a timeout call by the Noles right now. Bowden checking the clock. 6:01 to go, Coach. Well, tonight on the network, an all-new Second Noah leads into the season premiere of Coach and the premiere of Common Law. And then an all-new episode of Relativity will be seen tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central. About 6.5 minutes left in Madison, for those of you who are wondering about the Penn State-Wisconsin game. So about the same point where we are. We have 6 minutes left here, and of course, looks like John Saunders, certainly in the rain, is going to wind up with a Thrifty Car Rental postgame report here on the network. So he'll keep you up to date on that Wisconsin-Penn State game. So Thad Busby, we'll see what he can do with this 3rd down. Needs about 6 yards here, Coach, to get it.
Well, they're up tight man-to-man coverage right now. They're going to press, and they're coming up inside. They picked it up.
Deflected, incomplete, 4th down. And that one was batted by Simmons, who's had a fine afternoon here. Tar Heels.
He faked like he was going to blitz and then stood on the line of scrimmage when the quarterback cocked his arm. He just jumped and batted it back. He had a receiver coming back to the inside.
Well, Scott Bentley trots onto the field to attempt a field goal that would make it 13 with 5:57 to go.
37-yarder. Perfect on the year. 5 for 5.
Travis Chambers, his personal holder. Down. Bentley whacks it through. 37-yarder for Bentley, his second of the day. Defense and kicking. That's given the Seminoles a lead here in the fourth. A wonderful record here in Tallahassee with Coach Bobby Bowden. 11 consecutive bowl victories, 9 AP top 4 finishes, 9 consecutive 10-win seasons. All that's record. And then take a look down at the bottom, folks. How they've outscored opponents at home in this decade, 46-13. Now that's the difference here today. The defense doing its job, but they've only got 13 points offensively. They've kicked 2 field goals after blocked punts. Bentley's converted on both of his field goal opportunities. And then, after a fumble following an interception, a quick turnaround, and it was done into the end zone. 13 all, and now Bentley kicking it high and back toward the goal line where Johnson will bring it out from the 1-yard line. Leon Johnson to the 29-yard line, where the Tar Heels will have 5:45. Regional coverage again next week on ABC. Penn State trying to hold off Wisconsin would roll in unbeaten to take over the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes today going into South Bend and beating Notre Dame. Nebraska, Kansas State, Dick and I will be California, USC, and you will be seeing Virginia, Georgia Tech down south.
I'll tell you what's glaring to me, and I've noticed the trend through the season so far, is how much more man-to-man coverage is being played. And I think it goes all the way back to Nebraska's success against Florida in the national championship game last year. I know that staff, the Nebraska staff, had a strong influence on the Florida State staff, and they're using a lot of those same man packages.
Keldorf. So against the pressure this time, they will drop it off to Jonathan Linton coming out of the backfield on first down. So we mentioned to you the Thrifty Carvana postgame report. That's coming your way as soon as we get finished. John and Todd back in our warm, dry New York studios. Probably munching on some corned beef, New York Stormy up there in mustard. They get all the advantages of it.
Well, Jack's got the birthday cake. We get some of that on the plane, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jack, bring it to the plane.
Yeah. Second down now for Keldorf. Quick drop. Fire complete across midfield into the hands of Stevens.
Nice throw. He's a fine young receiver. He's only a sophomore in that big, tall frame. He's going to end up being a fine player for him. Going in their speed-up offense.
It's possible that Wilson and Bulwer, and understandably so, might be just a touch tired right now. The Tar Heels might have a little bit better success throwing the ball right now. Rushman can get tired, and I believe the whistle must have been blown because obviously it was slow motion down there for a moment. There's Peace right there.
Ball start on the offense. 5 yards. First down.
Tough time to make that mistake, Coach.
Both offensive teams struggling.
It'll be a long week of practice for these two offenses, huh?
Oh, gosh. I'd like to sit in on the film study section.
First and 15.
Crowd, they're coming after him. They picked it up.
Steps up into it and throws it incomplete over the top. He had number 5 Stevens over there who had broken it off on the far side.
Well, they came after him, and he wanted to step up in further. You'll see from the end zone. Now, he'll want to step up from shotgun. He goes back. Now, he sees things coming. A little rush to the outside. He steps in that little pocket hole there and throws it. But the receiver is turning looking for the hook, and actually, he wanted him to go deep.
Second down and 15. Keldorf, almost a beautiful call against that pressure defense that time. It might have opened up if Johnson could have just gotten through, but no, Darrell Bush was able to get a hand on him. We've watched him play some real good football games, Darrell Bush.
Ever since he was a freshman. This is his, I think, his 3rd year of starting. He's played a lot of football. Calls all the defense, and he knows what he's doing. Looks like zone coverage. Nope.
Bulwer. Hello, and Crawford with him.
They changed up the coverage look.
Now let's take a look at the plays of the day here. the reason why the Noles are up by 13. That and a pair of blocked punts. This time, DeFries gets it off. Feaster, fair catch at the 21-yard line. 3:56 to go down. And Florida State can run out the clock.
You can look for them to stay in their two-back attack. Might as well put 8 people up there now and get after it, try to create the turnover.
Hey, listen, when we come back to Tallahassee for that Gator game, we got to go to Myra's Cafe again.
Oh, yeah, great place.
That was outstanding.
Different kind of barbecue, too.
That was a little private house there.
Yeah.
The Carlson family, but we don't care if Mark comes as long as Myra
does the cooking.
does that barbecue.
Yeah, I love the red sauce.
Wasn't that good? So there's Wisconsin right back with them. Good rally by the Badgers. Maybe that one will head to overtime. 3:56. Maybe you'll be able to check in on that one, too.
Good penetration.
That's work done.
Yeah, and Mike Franklin, number 91, got in there real good.
We tell this audience to tell John Saunders to let him peek in on that one. That'll create all kinds of problems, won't I? Say that, huh? They won't find
I know you didn't say it.
I'm disappearing, man. I'm out of here. I didn't say that, John. Second down, 12 yards to go.
This North Carolina defense is so impressive. They're physically strong, quick, they coverage people. Good schemes. They change it around enough to throw you off balance. That penetration. So you can get one guy blocked at the point of attack. And they had a nice knockdown block that time by Chad Bates. He pulled out and got a knockdown block, but somebody else broke down, and you have to have everybody blocked to stop those people. Greg Ellis came in from the backside that time, and he's done that a number of times in the ballgame. You can see why he was first team All-ACC in '95. There's Mr. Bates, big senior leader of the offensive right guard.
Another thing I loved about coming to Tallahassee was that great exercise machine we had, that Stairmaster that we had in that hotel.
Oh, yeah, me mean the elevator didn't work.
Oh, man, I never had to work out so hard in my life. Didn't you get that elevator fixed by the time that Florida game comes around, Coach?
Maybe.
Here's Dunn. Taps it out to the 24-yard line. Yeah, there's the Noles. I'm going to tell you, they better get that offense together before they get down into Miami, folks. That has always been a roadblock for them. And then Virginia's coming in.
Virginia right there.
I'll tell you, Miami, I don't believe Bobby's won down there since about '84, Coach. I did a couple of those blowouts. That was unbelievable. There's a wide right down there. You know, all kinds of crazy things happen to the Noles when they get down there. They're gonna win this national championship. They got to get this offense together. Bobby's going to.
Plus, what happens with games like this, you give other people ideas.
Sure.
And there's a trend toward man coverage. College people aren't used to throwing against a lot of consistent man coverage, only as a changeup. And they might have to redesign and reorganize their thoughts in attacking man-to-man coverage. I think they're going to have to do that, and they will.
They haven't been close to getting the ball down their field deep, have they?
I mean, and there's some skilled receivers on the field.
Some of the best in the land are right here. 13-0, Florida State. North Carolina, with this defense, should make a serious run at a big-time bowl game. But they'll be favored in an awful lot of those games. Virginia, they might be an underdog going in there on November 16th because this Cavaliers will be at home. But this defense is going to keep the Tar Heels in a lot of football games. One of the differences today is the fact that Noles blocked a couple punts.
Yeah, and 2 last week, too. And there's no excuse for that.
They had 2 blocked in that Georgia Tech game last week. Fly back at the 30-yard line. Down we go to the happy birthday kid, Jack Root.
Yeah, birthdays come and go, but Brent, when Sean List got here to Florida State, he wanted to go like this, barefoot when he punted. The coaches here say, hey, we have a philosophy and a policy, no barefoot punters. So he struck a compromise with the coaching staff. And what they developed was a kangaroo skin shoe. Now, the reason Sean says that works is because it form-fits against his foot, and it gives him almost the same feeling as going barefoot.
Midlife crisis, huh, Jack?
Yeah.
Got a toe fetish, huh, kid? First and 10 now with 2:16.
You know, really, as I look at this, if Florida State belongs in the top 10, so does North Carolina.
You picked the 2 Chevy MVPs, the 2 defensive youngsters for this game for me here, will you?
All right, take Peter Boulware on defense and Simmons on defense as the outside linebacker for North Carolina.
And with Dick Vermeil's vote, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. A Chevy tradition for more than a quarter of a century.
Actually, there have been a number of defensive players play well enough. How about little Dre Bly? He comes up with 2 interceptions. Had 3 last week.
Big fumble, though.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, you thought, huh?
No, I don't think it. The fumble's all right, but I mean, no, gosh, I would, don't ever accuse me of thinking a fumble's okay, but there was a lot of guys do some nice things. The sky's playing up here a little bit. Yeah, that's going to have a nice weather for you driving to Orlando.
I go from Jack Arut's birthday to Mickey Mouse's. You know what I mean? I mean, I just go from one birthday celebration.
And they're both characters.
Huh?
They're both characters.
I am a team guy. Okay. 2:17 to go. Well, here's a young man who's found some happiness in Chapel Hill. That saga of him going to Utah State, breaking a hand as a tight end, 2 junior colleges, and finally winding up here. And you learn from an experience like this coming into this setting. This may be the toughest setting and certainly the toughest defense that he faces all year long.
See, they can sit back and just play a sagging zone now. Hello.
Look who's got it.
Boulware.
Mr. MVP. Peter Boulware out of Columbia, South Carolina. How'd the Gamecocks ever let him get out of that state?
Top left side of your screen. Here he comes. Wow! You could say he took the ball away before it was dead, but he was all the way down.
You know what Keldor's saying? When does this learning experience end? Well, there's North Carolina versus Duke at 89. The last time shut out. Still coming back. Out to the 32-yard line. Stevens.
You can see that neither team is doing very well on offense.
A lot of folks still want to see a loose ball bouncing around. Brown out of bounds on their side. They're going to stop the clock with 1:05 to go. There's the regional activity, and again down here you'll be watching Virginia and Georgia Tech. There's the receiver, Nate Brown. The shoe came off. Better than some might have expected. Mac Brown's team in here. Bobby favored by 17, leads it by 13. Fourth down, coming after him. Put it in his hands, but that's short of the first down. Knowles ball inside of a minute to go.
See, they came after him, so everybody's a man-to-man, and Sean Key, the safety's right up there playing tight, just tracked him right on down and made the play. This obviously is the best defense that was that Florida State has had. But you know something? Fans down here won't like it. I think they would rather win offensively than win defensively.
Nah, Coach, they just rather win by more than 17. Fans are fans. Inside the 35. Marcus Dow. Defensive tussle here in Tallahassee. Coming down now to the final half minute. Florida State would move to 3-0. Virginia with a game tonight. And that a non-conference game. They play Texas on ESPN, so Florida State tomorrow morning will be atop the ACC at 3-0. Second down. Brock Preston breaks free. 25-20. Preston out of bounds at the seconds to go.
That's the second time he's flashed a little bit, showing a little move, and he's going to be back next year to play. He's a junior out of Miami, Hialeah High School. Boy, I'll tell you, it's been a long time since I've seen two defensive teams that can play like these two teams can play.
A lot of folks hoping that Brock can step on into the end zone here in the last 6 seconds, the way he's running. And some others are hoping for a pretty good tackle right now. Down to 6 seconds, Florida State up by 13. Takes a knee, and that's going to do it. Florida State, 13. North Carolina, nothing. Coming up, the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. With Dick Vermeil and Jack Arute, I'm Brett Musburger. So long, everybody. Thrifty is next.
The Thrifty Car Rental postgame report, brought to you by Thrifty, renting cars with pride worldwide. Best of all, it's Thrifty.
Well, the Florida State defense played like the second-ranked defense in the land, but the offense did not. 13-0, and Jack Arute got up with Coach Bobby Bowden.
Coach, it wasn't pretty, but a W is a W.
Well, that's exactly right. It was a win. Our defense played great. Our kicking game was great. And offense, boy, we got all work to do.
Where do you begin to look for it, working better in the offense?
Well, we got into the rain business. And then the defense was playing so good. Then first thing you know, you start saying, well, let's don't do anything to get us beat. And you get also conservative, and that's what happens. But what if we had opened it up and lost, so probably did the best thing.
Before the game, though, you said it was important to test your team, to have a really tough contest before the rest of your schedule. You got it today.
Well, we sure did, and we expected that. I was very concerned about their defense. I mean, it shut out 2 ball clubs, and the other scores they gave up, I think, were all for block punts, and our kicking game and our defense saved us, though.
Well, you still won.
Yeah, we won. That's the main thing.
2 weeks, though, for the Seminoles. Next week, Clemson here in Florida. Then they have to get ready to march into the Orange Bowl to take on their foe, the Miami Hurricanes. John Saunders, that ought to be a good one a couple of weeks from now. Right now, let's send it to you in New York.
All right, Brent, thanks a lot. 13-0, the final in your game. There's another great one going on, this one in the Big Ten. Wisconsin trailing Penn State by 3 in the final minutes of the game. Right now, let's head it out to Mark Jones.
To the 40. Samuel running. Tripped up at the 40-yard line. Now he's got to get his offense on the team, and Samuel is taking a beating. Wisconsin burns its last time out, and that's their last. Boy, he's really hurting. I mean, he got hit before by Fornadell. Now he got crunched by a couple of guys, and that left shoulder looks like it's hanging there from that hit. Remember, Homer Smith said something that I thought was good advice for a quarterback. Run as if you don't have any shoulder pads. Right here, as Samuel runs through, he gets hit, and he lands on that shoulder, and that hurts. That's the kind of thing where that elbow hits the ground, and that shoulder pops up in the air. That could be a mild separation he has. John, it's going to be tough getting him out of the game, though. I doubt that he wants to come out at this point. Regardless, a look at the Big Ten standings as of this moment. Michigan, Northwestern, and Michigan State all one up. Purdue, Indiana, and Illinois all one down. Zeros in the middle, but Penn State on the verge, should they hold on, to improving to 1-0 in the Big Ten. And it would be Joe Paterno's the program's 700th career victory. Well, they say Philadelphia guys are tough, John. We'll see what Mike Samuel can do here. He's shown he's been tough already. But they need one more play from him. Samuel has a man complete to Merritt, and he's brought down to the 40 with 13 seconds to go. All right, the clock will stop here. He'll probably set up and down the football immediately. Let's see how well they execute this. A 20-yard pickup, and they ground it. Okay, good job, good job. They ran 3 receivers on the right side and brought Merritt underneath. It's a little different look than they've shown all day today. John Hall has kicked a school record 60-yard field goal in his collegiate history. He kicked it last year against Minnesota.
He's number 14. He should have his shot. There he is. All summer, he worked hard, arduously, into rehabbing his whole style. He learned the American wedge technique. It's a technique that's helped him, and he should get an opportunity to prove it. 2nd and 10. Samuel. Dangerously. Why would he throw it there, John?
Well, he had to throw it near the out-of-bounds marker and beyond the first down marker, trying to get more yards. But this whole game now rides on the shoulders of that man right there, John Hall.
He is 2 for 2 today. He missed 2 last week against Stanford. Simply put, it's been an adventure for him this year.
And let's see, Penn State calls a timeout. That actually might help him. Remember, early in the game, Wisconsin called a timeout, and he made the field goal after his own team called the timeout. That was the first score of the day, 3-0.
2s across the board for Hall today. The genuine Chevrolet MVPs of the game are Richardson, Wally Richardson for Penn State, and Ron Dane from Wisconsin. Chevrolet would donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. It's been a Chevrolet tradition for more than a quarter of a century. And who knows, those Chevy MVPs might change should number 14 tie this thing and have us go into overtime.
For his career, he's 8 for 14.
Quick word from Dean.
From this distance.
Let's go to Dean downstairs quickly.
Guys, the coaches think the wind is not a factor. It seems to me it's a little bit into them.
Okay, Dean, this will come from 57 yards out. Straight away. Out of the hold of Tim Rosga. John Hall, here he comes. He had the leg, but he pulled it left. And Joe Paterno rides out of Madison with a memorable victory. And you've got to feel for number 14.
That's Jay Hayes giving him a big hug as special teams coach. Hey, he gave it a ride, and what a ride we had in this football game today.
That is the essence of college football. We hope you enjoyed it. For Dean Blevins and John Spagnola, I'm Mark Jones saying it's all good. John Hall gave it a ride and came that close. Thrifty coming up next.
Penn State comes up with a 23-20 victory. They'll play Ohio State next week right here on ABC Sports. Right now, we want to take you back to those who watch Florida State and North Carolina. Let's rejoin Brent Musburger.
John, thank you very much. Dick Vermeil, what do you think about that Penn State game coming up next week in Columbus against Ohio State?
It's a good time to play Ohio State coming off a great big win like that. It's the best time to play them.
Well, here it was the Seminoles in a defensive shootout, 13-0 over the Tar Heels of North Carolina. Dick, the numbers are, well, defensive.
Oh, they really are. You know, North Carolina didn't rush for very many yards. Florida State only throws for 65. And, you know, they didn't throw very well in the very first ball game against Duke either. The glaring thing is right here. It says 2 turnovers, but those 2 blocked punts are much more damaging than those 2 turnovers.
So there it is. The Seminoles shut out North Carolina, but 2 outstanding defenses on display here. All right, now let's send you to John Saunders. John?
All right, thanks a lot. Alongside Todd Blackledge, it's time for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. A couple of exciting games. We'll talk about those and other when we return. You've just seen Florida State beat North Carolina 13-0. Some of you saw a 23-20 win for Penn State over Wisconsin. A little bit. And we also want to welcome those of you who watched Florida State against North Carolina. 13-0 is the final on that one. Florida State's offense not looking good. Their defense very good. Right now, let's look at some scores. Number 1, Florida blows out Kentucky. They just roll in this one. 65-0 the final. Florida State over North Carolina. Some of you saw that. 13-0. Penn State gets the victory by 3 over Wisconsin. They have Ohio State next week. Ohio State over Notre Dame 29-16. They look tremendous on offense. Pepe Pearson also had a great game. We want to remind you, if you missed the score, log into College Football Today on America Online. Keyword ABC Sports. For Todd Blackledge, I'm John Saunders. Good night, everyone.
This This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.